Okay, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Every time I pull up something to try to get it ready for the live, it stops playing that. I do apologize. I wanted to try to get those pictures out there so that maybe somebody could see them and help bring them home, but we'll have to do it at the end, I guess. Let me go ahead and do my intro.
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
All right, good Sunday morning. I originally was not going to come live on Sundays, but I wanted to go ahead and finish these interviews today if we can, and try to get through as much of them as we can. Yeah. So with that, we're going to start with the docket.
No, I'm talking about Jenn.
The docket is on YouTube. I will link them in the description box. Please give them a like and a follow. We are listening to the interview of Jennifer Soto after she had been granted immunity, to see what she has to say. We've already called her in a couple of things that she claims to have misremembered. I don't understand how you're misremembering these things. And then adding to that, the dynamic of their relationship as seen from Mrs. and Mrs. Stearns, Stefan's parents. It kind of adds a perspective of someone who was on a bunch of medication, mentally checked out, and not really paying attention and there for Madeline, in my opinion. And that's very unfortunate because look at this baby. Isn't she just precious? So with that being said, let's get started.
I'm talking about Jennifer. But again, I got to put a little asterisk beside it if it's true. If it's true.
We sat in my room for a while and hung out. He discussed having to reset his phone even though he didn't want to, or no, not reset his phone. He discussed needing to update his phone because he's been avoiding an update for so long. But I think it's time to do it. And I said, just do it. Stop avoiding it. Just do it.
I've heard where she'll say like she was talking about, I don't know. I can't remember exactly, but I'm going to give an example. Like if the police officer was to ask her, did you do an interview for Fox 35? And she'll say no. And then she'll say, just kidding, just kidding. Yes, I did. Like, I don't understand that. Just kidding, just kidding. Like, why is she saying just kidding? That's not something you're just kidding about. Like, why is that the context you use instead of, oh, wait a minute. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You say just kidding, just kidding. That doesn't make sense. And she says it a lot. Like instead of like if she says something and then she remembers, oh, wait a minute, yes, I did. Or, oh, wait a minute, no, I didn't. She'll say, just kidding, just kidding. I've never understood that. And I think it's weird. Like, because like it makes me question, did Stephen Stern say, oh, Madeline is such a beautiful girl. I'd like to marry her when she grows up. Just kidding, just kidding. Like, is that the dynamic? And is that like something that happened a lot? Like, somebody say something out of line or something or misremember something and then just kidding, just kidding. Is that why she does that? Because because, you pick up on the speech patterns and contextual innuendos of people around you. So who else? It's just weird to me. That's just weird.
Just do it. And he started the update, and then through the update, he's like, oh my God, I don't know what button I pressed, but I just factory erased my entire phone. And I said, that was stupid. How'd you manage to do that? He goes, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, and I just clicked the button, and it happened. And I said, oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Or did he tell you he meant to reset his phone?
No, he didn't tell me he meant to reset his phone. He acted like and said that it was an accident.
Did you find that odd?
Of course I find that fucking odd. That's suspicious as hell.
Well, what the hell? I mean, the minute I found out that he factory reset his phone after my daughter went missing, we would be having a long ass conversation and it might end in a murder charge. I'm just saying, because what the fuck? I mean, your child's missing and all of a sudden your significant other's factory resetting his phone. Ma'am, what? Excuse me, what? What the hell? I don't know why this is paused right now, but that's not me. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. The docket might be talking and muted and not realize it or something.
Have you ever reset any kind of phone?
Me, I have no idea how to do that.
Okay. Have you ever?
Okay.
Sorry, my microphone was muted.
Oh, okay.
What I said was you're actually going to hear emotion for the first time. Real emotion. But I don't know how she's still not crying. But we're all built different.
I had to do an update on a phone.
So about the not crying part, when you take into account all of the mental health medication she's on, I don't know that she's going to show much emotion about anything because of all the mental health medication she's on, and that's unfortunate.
I think so. On these phones, yeah, sometimes it'll ask me to just continue on with the update. And do I remember it ever asking me to erase? No.
Got it. Okay.
But he's got a Samsung. I have Apple, so I don't know if there is a difference or not. So.
All right. Now that you mentioned phones, so Maddie had a phone.
Yeah.
And explain to me what her attachment is to her phone.
Her phone is her lifeline. That's how she talks to all of her.
So this
I want to
might
give
be
a shout out to Strategic Eyes. I took a swing over by his channel the other day. If you're not subscribed to him, listen, solid dude. Go check him out.
There's a channel you might could check out. I haven't looked into it. Strategic Eyes.
I'm looking for his message.
He's very forgetful.
I hate those cartoons like that. And it'll show the people like being punished and girls crying outside with water dripping on them in the sewer or something. And they're for kids to play. And it's like, save the fish before the lava falls on it by completing this maze. And the fish at the bottom has eyes that are just so sad. I'm like, why are you doing this? Are we and then, oh, well, the fish died with the sad puppy dog eyes. Like that. I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm not a very emotional person, but when I see the ads for that shit, I damn near cry. Just seeing the little fish with the damn sad puppy dog eyes and trying to save safe from the lava. Like, why are we putting that much emotion into a game? And what happens if the fish dies? I mean, I know I'm off on a tangent here, but that shit irks me. I don't want my kids playing a game like that. Because is that shit gonna make them not have compassion? Oh, well, I didn't save the fish from the lava and it died. Like, I can't stand that shit. It might show one like I'm talking about, but I don't. Just trying to back it up a little bit so I didn't miss what Jenn was saying. Oh, damn. Might help if
it was perfect for him.
So I'm assuming she placed it there while she was getting ready and completely forgot about it, got ready, grabbed her backpack, and left. But it was on the dresser in front of her TV. But For me, that's a normal thing for her to forget her phone.
Mm-hmm. Now, when she went, do you remember what time she went to bed on Sunday?
I sent them to bed around 11 o'clock.
Okay.
I lose my mind every time I hear that in every interview.
Yep, she sent the kids to bed.
And I was talking to somebody. He is a 37 or 38-year-old man. Now, granted, I have to take into consideration that, it's fallen perfectly right into his wheelhouse. But I'm 37 or 38 years old. There ain't no woman telling me to go to bed.
Exactly. We got to take into account the fact that this man was babied. I mean, we know by the parents talking about dealing with him at a grown-ass age and him living with his parents when he wasn't staying with Jenn. So this man has been coddled his whole life. So maybe that's why she looked at him like a child. I don't know. I know that my mama told me to get out when I was 17, and I've been on my own since then. And honey, it's been a long, hard damn road. And I still got some ways to go on this long, hard road.
You can go to Hades.
Exactly.
Ain't no woman gonna tell me when I'm gonna go to bed. But again, it was perfect for him.
Yep.
Did you see him or her anytime after that other than in the morning? Or talk to them? Either via text or yell through the walls or...
No, nothing like that. If anything, Stefan may have come down to use the restroom.
Why wouldn't he use the restroom upstairs?
Because our roommate does not like sharing. Our roommate.
I've asked that before when we were going through a different interview. Why isn't he using the bathroom upstairs? There was a bathroom upstairs.
Does not like sharing bathrooms with men, and she asked that we don't use that bathroom, or that he doesn't use that bathroom specifically. So we've respected her wishes, and he's been using my bathroom this whole time.
Okay. Were you supposed to work Monday?
No, I was off.
Okay. What about Tuesday?
Off. Wednesday, I was supposed to work.
And you told me you work at the front desk at Coronado Springs at Disney.
Yes.
How long have you worked there?
Less than a week.
Okay. Did you work anywhere prior to that?
I was a substitute teacher for Kelly Education.
And how long did you do that?
Maybe a month or two. Not very long. And then before that, I've been unemployed. I've been living off disability, essentially. Mm-hmm. I'm disabled.
Okay. Why are you disabled? From what?
I have a bunch of things. Primarily PTSD.
From what?
Okay. Now, this is another one of the times my chin hit the floor. Now, they redacted it out, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out what she's talking about, because there's still enough left in it that you can figure it out.
All right, so let's try to figure out what she has PTSD from. If it has something to do with, like, along the lines of what happened to Madeline, and then so that would mean that happened to her, and she's letting her child sleep in a bed with a grown-ass man after something like that happened to her. I'm going to be furious. I'm going to be a hot bitch.
But this is why she has PTSD and on disability.
And then before that, I've been unemployed. I've been living off disability, essentially. Mm-hmm. I'm disabled.
Okay, why are you disabled? From what?
I have a bunch of things. Primarily PTSD.
From what?
So PTSD, bipolar 2, generalized anxiety.
There's your confirmation. It is now factually known. Bipolar 2. It's factual now. Straight from the horse's mouth. So we
Well, look, let me tell you something. I knew she was bipolar. I'm bipolar, but I'm not. I mean, I don't know. People are wondering if she's bipolar, as using it as some kind of excuse or something. I don't know. Let me tell you what, though, coming from another diagnosed bipolar person with PTSD and stress and anxiety issues, this shit ain't right. Okay, just that there is no parallels between having PTSD, bipolar, and anxiety issues, which are what my diagnoses are, and letting shit like this happen. I'm sorry, but no, ma'am.
We can forget about the horse's ass. We're getting it from the horse's mouth now.
ADHD.
Here we
I
go.
think
Here
that's
we go.
pretty much it with my
Wait a
psychiatric
minute.
stuff.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, what happened?
Forget about the horse's ass. We're getting it from the horse's mouth now.
This comment right here, I want to highlight. Hold on a minute.
ADHD.
A.K. Emerson, I have all of what she has and I'm a stable adult. Excuses, excuses. I could not agree with you more, Miss A.K. Emerson or Mr. A.K. Emerson. Exactly. 100%.
I think that's pretty much it with my psychiatric stuff.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, what happened with
I went on a date with a guy I had met.
Was this before Stefan or?
Yes, before
Okay.
Stefan. This was way before. It was a few years before Stefan, or maybe the year before Stefan. But met a guy at a car dealership who interviewed me for a job. I turned the job down, and he said, "Oh, great, I can't date my employees." And I said, "Oh, what do you mean?" He goes, "Yeah, I want to take you out on a date." And I said, "Oh, wow, I've never been asked out on a date in person before." And we went out on a date. He got really drunk. We got back to his place.
Redacted.
Okay, so she's saying that she has PTSD because a man basically raped her, that took her on a date. That's horrible. It wouldn't be the same as SA as a child, so it's different. Maybe she didn't pick up on those signs. I don't know. Like, I genuinely try to look at everything from every perspective and give people grace, okay? But I don't know, man. She's been caught in so many lies. I hate that happened to her, but I still would hope that taking that into account, you would have picked up more on things, you know?
Redacted. But you get where she's going with it.
All right.
If you didn't work, what would your typical day look like?
My entire day was focused around Maddie.
On a normal basis?
I would wake up first thing in the morning, make sure she was ready, make her breakfast, get her backpack and water bottle ready. I just taken lunch, get her some lunch ready.
Your entire day was not focused around Maddie. A bullshit. If it was, then you would have noticed things going on. I've got to step away for just a second, so I'll be right back.
This is me doing this while she's getting ready. Walk the dog, come back, make sure she takes all her medications before school, take her to school, come back. I typically have a bunch of doctor's appointments to go to often, so I'm either at doctor's appointments. If I'm not at doctor's appointments, I'm just here at home, probably napping, resting, just waiting until it's time to pick her up from school again. She was my entire life. Everything I did was, my everyday was for her.
Now you have a little bit of what we've been hearing in all of the other interviews, right? That little, you can hear her voice cracking up a little bit, but it gets harder.
Did Stefan know about your doctor appointment on Monday? Did you tell him what your plans were on Sunday?
I'm not sure when I told him. I must have told him Sunday night, yeah, or Sunday, because there's no way I could have told him Monday morning if he didn't have his phone on him, and I didn't really talk to him that morning.
I'm back. Hope I didn't miss anything important.
Where'd you meet him?
We both worked at a real estate office off of iDrive somewhere. They're called Eco Homes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they exist anymore though. The Eco Home Company. I think he was a real estate agent for them or did warranty work for them. And I was an appointment setter. And I didn't have that job for very long. I got fired. It was right after my PTSD incident. I couldn't hold down a job at all.
So when you and Stefan would hang out, say Maddie's at school and you two wanted to hang out, or the three of you wanted to hang out, like what would you guys do? Like where would you go? Or
primarily Disney. We have Disney annual pass holders. We both worked for Disney at one point. Well, at least he worked there at one point. I still work there. But we go to Disney.
I am glad that baby got to go to Disney. A lot of kids don't. I wish I could take my kids, but there ain't no way I could afford something like that. So I'm glad that she did get to do that. I mean, that's good to hear that she at least got to go do that, because a lot of times, especially in cases like this, you find out that the kid basically stayed at home and went to school, and that was about it. And it's sad. So I am glad that she at least got to go to Disney.
We stayed home and they would play board games, or we'd watch. Well, we loved watching movies. We would always have family time and just watch a new movie. Like, I felt like it was one of our projects to make sure that she watched all the good movies from the 80s and 90s that we watched watching. I just wanted her to have the knowledge of pop culture.
Now, we do that as a family as well. We watch all of the old school movies, Little Giants, Now and Then, Casper, the old one, the original one. Lots of those good family feel-good movies. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We do that with our kids too, and I'm glad to hear somebody else did it. I hate that it was this person, but I think that's something that people should do. All the movies you might have watched as a kid, watch them with your kids, especially the good ones, back when they made good family feel-good movies, they were great. Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, things like that. My kids love them.
Sure. So last movie we watched with her was Sister Act.
when was that?
Sunday night.
We haven't done Sister Act. Maybe we can do that one today. Usually try to do it on a Sunday when everybody's here, and we just try to calm down before we do church in our household.
Did you go out to eat anywhere, like a favorite restaurant or anything like that?
The only restaurant I think we frequented a handful of times in the last year is La Mexicana. It's off of Columbia. Honestly, living on disability and then his income at Disney, it wasn't enough to survive. We really didn't eat out often. We couldn't afford it.
Okay. Would you go visit any parks, or other than not Disney parks, but
Boy, I wish I could work my garden that fast. I hope I didn't just... Okay, that's... Lordy.
And no, I'm talking about Jenn. I'm talking about Jennifer.
I think we were about right here.
Okay. Now, this is another one of the,
Okay, wait a minute.
and I was talking to somebody. He is a 37 or 38-year-old, like a genius to figure out what's
Focused around Maddie.
On a normal basis.
I would wake up first thing in the morning, make sure she was ready, make her.
This is typically go.
So, due to money, hardly ever went out on a date.
Go back here.
One of our projects to make sure that she watched all the good movies from the 80s and 90s that we grew up watching. I just wanted her to like have the knowledge of pop culture. So, last movie we watched with her was
I'm going to
Sister Act.
skip through this to get back where we were
When was that?
without jumping around.
Sunday night.
Like, would you go out to like eat anywhere, like a favorite restaurant or anything like that?
The only restaurant I think we frequented a handful of times in the last year is La Mexicana. It's on off of Columbia. Honestly, living on disability and then his income at Disney, like it wasn't enough to survive. We really didn't eat out often. We couldn't afford it.
Okay. Would you go like visit any parks or other than not Disney parks, but like neighborhood parks or anything like that?
No, we'd hang out right here at this lake. Maddie really liked hanging out at this lake and just drawing, sitting on one of the benches and drawing. Any other park? No, not really.
That comment, Maddie lived in a dysfunctional household, I can definitely agree. Looking at the pictures of where she slept with the little room divider thing, just insanity.
Now, what if it was just you and him? Say going out on a date or wherever, where would you guys typically go?
So, due to money, hardly ever went out on a date.
Somebody just pointed out, she said Maddie was her entire life. If this was before she was found deceased, why is she talking about her in past tense?
Honestly, we hardly went out on dates.
That comment, Yolanda, your daughter is a sicko. From what we've gathered, Yolanda didn't very much care for Stephen Stearns and didn't even allow him to be around her. I damn sure am not blaming Yolanda for any of this. I think that woman has got a good head on her shoulders, and Stephen Stearns' parents do too. Despite what happened, unfortunately, I don't fault the parents of these people because they seem like they didn't like them dating at all. Stephen and Jennifer, from what we've heard, both parents, Yolanda and Stephen Stearns' parents, did not like the fact that Stephen and Jennifer were together at all whatsoever.
There's only one date I can think of that we went on, and that was like years ago at the beginning of our relationship where we went to Disney Springs. I went to the Edison. I don't think we've had many date nights, just him and me. It's always been the three of us doing something, going to dinner, going to Disney Springs. We visit Disney Springs sometimes, not often, but sometimes. We really liked that restaurant, Deluxe Burger. Really good. June really enjoyed it there.
No.
So yeah, it says it was between 2/29 and 3/1. Maddie wasn't found deceased yet. I don't know what date it was, but it was later than that. Why is she talking about her in past tense?
The dynamic between you three. I know you told me that sometimes you and her would sleep in the bed.
Yeah.
Sometimes the three of you would sleep in the bed. And then sometimes you would send him and her to a bedroom so you could get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
How long has that been going on?
Okay, so
evidently since she was 8 fucking years old, because there was pictures starting at the age of 8 per the affidavits that came out. Which would have been 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 5 years ago, and I think they were together for 7. I mean, it's good to know that the man didn't just show up out of nowhere and then have access to Madeline alone. I guess there was 2 years in there where he didn't, but I don't know, or maybe he didn't just didn't have pictures of it. I don't know, but the fact that from the age of 8, he's got pictures of her.
I'm gonna say back in June. It was primarily the 3 of us sleeping in bed together.
A bullshit.
All the time.
And why? How did that start?
Maddie has always slept in the bed with me.
Mm-hmm.
She's always slept in my room. Only when we lived in that apartment in Northport did she have her own bedroom, and we could afford for her to have her own room. So that was the only time she's actually had her own room. Here, she's always shared a room with me. When she was a baby, she had her own bedroom here for a few years. But once she got older and we started having roommates and all that stuff, she started just staying with me in my bedroom. Stefan, during the times that we did live with Stefan, it would be the 3 of us in this bed down here, down in the master bedroom. It wasn't until June of last year that we had broken up, and I said, okay, I don't want to sleep in the same bed with you. Please move upstairs. And he moved upstairs. At this point, Maddie pretty much slept with me all the time. I think I can count maybe on one hand how many times she's gone upstairs to sleep with him alone, because I wasn't comfortable with it. I was like, no,
A bullshit. How did he have pictures from the age of fucking 8 years old, ma'am? I mean, how the fuck did he get her alone to have pictures and videos of her from the age of fucking 8 years old, ma'am?
It doesn't look right. Like, it just doesn't seem right. Like, I'm not comfortable with it. Maddie, you got to sleep with me. And I've told him that. But there were times that they'd beg for sleepovers. Like, please, we just want to stay up late watching movies. And I would be too tired to stay up late. So I would say, fine, go ahead and do it. But just this once, like.
When did you start becoming comfortable with it?
Say never, I dare you.
I don't know if I was ever comfortable with it.
Oh, bullshit.
But you told them to go Sunday night to go sleep together.
I did.
Exactly.
That was a selfish move on my part, because I wanted a good night's sleep. I didn't want her kicking me or rolling onto me or waking me up.
And how many times did you have a, quote, selfish night? Bitch. I'm sorry, but no ma'am.
Or to hear her alarm so that it woke me up. I wanted to keep sleeping until I needed to sleep, because I just had not, with my training schedule, I have not had a good night's sleep. My medication was out of whack. I was feeling funny and not like myself. And I knew that I needed another night's sleep and my medication in my body, like ASAP. So I needed to go to bed. So I wasn't even comfortable sending her that night, but I just did it for my own selfish reasons.
And a lot of other times too.
Did you know?
This is redacted.
Redacted. Thank you, everybody, so much for this memberships, gift memberships.
Again, please go check out the Docket. Give him a like and subscribe. He gets stuff out here that a lot of people can't get with just the request like what I do, and so does Plunder.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it.
If anything, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter.
This crazy cat lady, she was on heavy sleep drugs. She could have slept with her bullshit. I agree. When you're taking sleeping medication, I don't know how this child moving all over the bed is not going to wake you up. I mean, it's going to wake you up. Because when you take those sleep medications, you are fucking out. Good night. For about 8 hours. The damn wall could cave in and you probably wouldn't wake up. I don't know how Madeline being in the bed and kicking you is going to wake you up when you're on sleep medication like that.
Or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18.
Okay, now.
Oh, what? What did I miss?
Stay up late watching movies, and I would be too tired to sleep. I didn't want her kicking me or rolling onto me or waking me up, or to hear her alarm so that it woke me up. I wanted to keep sleeping until I needed to sleep because I just had not.
Wait a minute. You didn't want her alarm waking you up because you wanted to continue sleeping, but you got up with her every morning to get her ready for school and give her medicine and shit? Excuse me? That doesn't make any sense. When her alarm goes off, you would get up too because you're getting her ready for school. That's bullshit. You're fucking lying.
With my training schedule, I have not had a good night's sleep. My medication was out of whack. I was feeling funny and not like myself. And I knew that I needed another night's sleep and my medication in my body like ASAP. So I needed to go to bed. So I wasn't even comfortable sending her that night, but I just did it for my own selfish reasons.
Okay. Did you know?
Redacted.
I keep seeing those tomatoes and I'm like, yeah, I want to throw a damn tomato at her face too. You know, when you see videos and they'll throw tomatoes at the people on stage, that's what I want to do to her too. I want to throw a tomato right smack dab in the face.
Redacted. Thank you everybody so much for this gift memberships.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it.
If anything, I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18.
Okay, now it kind of got ahead of me. Listen to this.
Oh, you've got my full undivided attention.
I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
Because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man.
Because you felt something was off. You saw signs and you fucking knew. That's why.
My mom put that in my body. Never trust a man.
How about that? I know I called it the Woody Allen effect on the thumbnail, but she calls it the Woody Allen situation. How about that?
Nope.
You want to hear it again? Let's listen to it again.
For my own selfish reasons.
Okay. Did you know?
I'm assuming he's asking her, did you know about what Steppen was doing to Madeline? And how did you what are your thoughts on that? I'm assuming. I don't know.
He's never said anything to you or anything about it.
If anything, I've I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him like that was my biggest fear and I don't ever want that happening. Like, you can't do that to me. Like,
why would you say that to him?
Because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man. My mom put that in my body. Never trust a man. And like, I did not completely 100% trust the man, but in my, like, the logic in my head was saying, you know, he's been in your life for 7 years. Nothing's happened. He hasn't shown you anything that he's weird or that he's done any, or that he's.
Okay, they've been together for 7 years. So the logic in your head says you've been together for 7 years. I mean, that would be if she had slept in the bed one time and it just happened the other day. Not that they've been sleeping in the same bed for some time now. I mean, obviously at the time you had to say we've been together for 2 years, 5 years or whatever, and he hasn't done anything, if you're going to roll with that. And so you let them sleep in the same bed together. You were just together. You're just now together for 7 years. So that's not the logic in your head. You weren't together for 7 years when you started letting her sleep in the bed with this monster.
Interested in her or said anything about her body or talked to her about her in any specific way that like freaked me out. He's never said anything like that or shown me any of those signs. So I thought I could trust him, that he was safe, that he was a good guy, and that he was taking care of my baby and loved her the way I loved her. But I was wrong.
Yes, because you may think he was whatever.
It's redacted.
I know.
Here come the tears. Here come the tears. Grab your tissue.
I'm going to try again to give grace, but it's so hard.
Is it real?
It could be.
Genuinely asking.
It could be. I don't know.
Do you think it's real? I see one fake.
It could
This
be real.
can't be real.
In my opinion, I don't know.
I
mean, because if you take into account,
Cakes Boo says no.
If you take into account all of the medication she was on, and then she's prescribed medical marijuana, which that part is not bad, but you gotta also remember all of the mental health medications she's on, the sleep medications, all of the thing. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't take medication, not prescription medication. I take doTERRA products. I'll leave that in a link below if you think you might be interested in that. I like it. I think it's a great product, but you do your own research and formulate your own opinions. But I take an anxiety from doTERRA. I don't take pharmaceuticals. I don't like pharmaceuticals, but I have taken them in the past. And let me tell you, any bipolar medication is going to zombify you, because it's most of the time what they give you is mood stabilizers, okay? Because bipolar people, their moods jump from way, way up high, like you might have energy to clean the whole house for 3 days straight. And then you go way, way down where you sleep for 4 days, or you can't get out of the bed and stop crying for 4 days, okay? So a lot of times when people are bipolar, they're put on what's called a mood stabilizer. The mood stabilizer does what it sounds like. It stabilizes your mood, but you're zombified. You don't have any real happy moments and you don't have any real sad moments. You're just plain zombie. Okay. And then you're smoking weed on top of that. were you just, I mean, is it possible that she was just so out of it and so incoherent with all this medication she was on? And you have to take that medication when you're on disability, because they test your urine to make sure all your medications are in your system. So it's possible that she could have been zombified to the point of not realizing. But I still have to question a lot. But I'm going to try to give a little bit of grace.
No. Friend of cows, not real, fake. 43 Shay says, yes, it's real. We've got a so fake AF, fake, no, disgusting, crocodile. Okay, so we got a pretty good sampling there. Okay.
So I need you to, I know this is a lot.
Oh, Lord.
But
hold on.
Monday morning, I really need you.
Oh, goodness.
His actions Monday morning.
Okay.
So you go to help him with the dog. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you or do you not see Maddie?
I do not see Maddie.
Okay. At that time, would it be normal for her to be awake, getting up, ready for school?
Yes.
Okay. And according to you, she typically does that in her bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. When you go out of your bedroom to help him with this dog.
I never left my bedroom.
Didn't?
He was in my bedroom. He walked in. The dog was on top of my bed, and he went to leash the dog on top of my bed. I got off the bed to try to help him with that, and then he said, "No, go back to sleep." So I did.
Okay. He tells you that he took Maddie to school and drops her off somewhere near the school so she could walk, because she doesn't want to be seen inside of his car.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe him?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because of the evidence, because of photos, because of what you're telling me. Because he's.
Because of the photos, because of the evidence, because of what you're telling me is what she's saying.
Gonna be a liar.
He's a liar.
I want to hope my daughter's alive and out there, that she was taken. I don't know anyone.
I want to hope my daughter is alive and out there and that she was taken, but I don't know anymore, is what I do believe she just said.
Well, I can be fairly confident that a stranger did not take Maddie. The only person she was with was Stefan.
And I mean, that's just the honest truth. I appreciate Detective being honest with her. That's something she's going to have to come to grips with, and now's a good time to do so. And I think that was his thought process in telling her that.
Why would he go to Northport?
I don't know. I don't know what's in Northport other than his parents.
Why would he go to Northport? Is what she said.
Did you know he was going to Northport?
I thought when I woke up and he wasn't in the hotel, I thought he had gone to the Target Plaza right next door to the hotel we were staying at, because he likes.
Okay, she said, I thought when I woke up and he wasn't in the motel room, I thought he was going to the Target Plaza right next to the motel room where we were staying, because he likes to
go shopping when he's stressed.
Go shopping when he's stressed.
But that's not what happened according to you. Why does he actually went all the way to Northport and came back?
But that's not what happened according to you guys. Why does he go all the way to Northport and then come back?
So when he gets stressed, he likes to go shopping.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he tell you he was going shopping?
Hey, look, I like to do the same thing. Sometimes my wallet won't let me, but I do too. It's called retail therapy.
Shopping on Monday?
Did he go shopping on Monday?
he was gonna go stop at a few game shops to see if they.
But see, now the tears have stopped. I mean, there was a minute there to calm down, okay, but it's kind of quick for the tears to stop. She's talking about he was supposed to go to a game store. Them damn cards. Y'all know what they are. Them damn cards, like Pokemon cards and shit. I don't get into that shit, but them kind of things is what he was into. Which, I mean, again, what grown-ass man is out here with the Pokemon cards and the word and all of that? That just tells me a lot about that, too.
If they had any Lorcana cards for sale.
Lorcana.
Here's my problem, and I've seen some of you say it. It seems like she turns it off real easy.
Yep. I have to agree. She turned the tears right off.
There's a few seconds in there where it sounds genuine. The boy, it's just like she, bam, snaps right out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I mean, I've been on the fence about it.
Me too.
Would that be considered stressful shopping? In your mind?
Yeah, this dude ain't got two nickels to rub together except for what he's stealing off his parents
Exactly.
and off a 13-year-old kid. But yet he goes stress shopping? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Right. I have to
Stress
agree.
shopping? That's not what he was doing. We know that's not what he was doing, but apparently that was one of the ways that when he was stressed before he got caught, that's what he did, according to Jennifer.
Are your eyes?
No, because he does this often. He'll want to see what stores have what in stock to see if he can afford to buy it or not.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go from shop to shop. He's done this. He does this. He does that.
Okay. So going back to it, he says he drops Maddie off and he sees her walking towards the school.
Yeah.
And then did he tell you where he went after that?
He said he drove around for a little bit, killing time, and then
Killing time for what?
for the vape shop to open.
Okay.
And we saw the receipt from the vape shop in some of the previous lives I've done on this case with the information that I was able to get.
And then I think he told me he waited. No, he told me he waited in front of the vape shop for it to open. But I think that it didn't open. It never opened in time when it was supposed to.
Do you know what vape shop he went to?
Yes. And I know that I brought this vape shop up to one of the other detectives earlier, and I had shown them this location. But that vape shop is located in a plaza where it has an Amscot on one corner and a bank on the other corner. So if you guys could probably find video footage of if he was even there, pulling in and out. That's in Hunter's Creek.
And you know for a fact this is where he went?
That's where he told me. Yeah. If it's any vape shop, it's this vape shop. And
Why that one? Why that specific one?
he likes the brand, the e-smoker company. And that's where he gets all of his vape stuff. He won't go to any other vape shop around here. He goes to that one.
What time is this vape shop supposed to open? Does it say on there?
10 a.m.
Okay. When you guys are here, are you guys assigned garage remotes for
Yes.
how many of those do you have?
I have one. Stefan has one. I'm not sure if Angelica or Natalie have one.
Is it something you keep in your pocket or
I keep in my car.
what about Stefan?
So right now they're talking about the clickers. And remember, we heard from the gate person that He drove through the gate and then came back saying that he forgot his clicker, is what he called it. But it's the thing that opened the gate.
I think sometimes he leaves it in the car. Sometimes he brings it in with himself. It depends.
Why would he bring it inside?
I'm not sure.
Does that seem normal to you? To bring a garage remote inside the house?
No. But he said that morning he left the house. He said that morning he left the house and then returned again because he forgot the garage clicker, so he came back to get the clicker. I don't know how true that is or not.
Do you think that was odd?
He's a very forgetful guy. I don't fucking know what to think of him anymore. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So you know you're all around.
This is
Yeah.
redacted.
That's Maddie asleep in the car.
Maddie's not asleep in the car.
Okay, pay attention, perk up, and listen.
So I wonder if this is her finding out that Madeline was deceased.
Perk up and listen.
He's a very forgetful guy. I don't fucking know what to think of him anymore. I don't know if he's lying. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So you know you're all around.
Yeah. That's Maddie asleep in the car.
Maddie's not asleep in the car.
What do you mean? She's
Do you
dead.
believe Maddie's asleep there?
Is she dead?
He's waiting for her to make the connection.
I don't know.
Could you hear what she said?
Is she dead?
It's really low. That's boosted. Did you hear what she said?
She's
Do you
dead.
believe Maddie's asleep there?
Is she dead?
I don't know.
Is she dead?
We don't know where she's at.
Remember earlier she was using past tense. Madeline was my whole life. I'm wondering, it's going to take a second, like genuinely, if she was to find something out like that and didn't know, the first emotion that's going to hit is shock. And then once she realizes, I'm hoping to see what her reaction is.
Now, I will tell you, she's processing that, right?
Like shock.
She's processing that. Now, listen.
I'd wait for her to be laying down sleeping.
I boosted that as loud as I could, but she's still that soft spoken.
Is she dead?
I don't know. We don't know where she's at.
It's an odd way for her to be laying down sleeping.
She said that's an odd way for her to be laying down sleeping.
She says that's an odd way for her to be laying down sleeping. I know it's hard to hear. I apologize, but I cranked it up as loud as my program could go. She says that's an odd way for her to be laying sleeping.
So this is at 7:30 in the morning. Ish.
It's way too early.
That's way too early.
But
She says that's way too early.
So this is at 7:30 in the morning. Ish.
It's way too early.
That's way
But
too
you
early.
said you thought around 8 o'clock.
Because I assumed that he was getting her ready for school. So that would be the time he'd wake me up and take her.
All kind of bad assumptions. Girl, all kind of bad assumptions.
It was earlier.
So just for the recording, this is a video from within the complex that shows the front angle through the windshield.
Yes.
Listen up. Now they're showing her a video, not a picture. A video.
So the next picture is going to be Maddie in the front seat of Stefan's car. You see right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's taken at 9 o'clock near SeaWorld.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I mean, you can't look at the picture and tell if it's 9 in the morning or 9 at night.
I mean, for real though.
Come on. And at first he says video, but then he changed the picture. So my apologies.
So I guess we thought it was a video, but it's actually a picture.
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
But even that just goes to show the mindset of her and how she's probably not all the way there. And I would say it has to do with the medication for her to ask something like 9 o'clock or 9 in the morning when obviously it's not dark outside, so it wouldn't be 9 o'clock at night. Even down here in the South in the middle of summer, it gets dark around 8:30. 9 o'clock is usually pretty damn dark. So again, that gives you the mindset of this woman and how out of it she was, more than likely due to all of the medication that she's on.
And right there, she whispered something, where the F did he go, or something like that. If you have headphones, please help a brother out and let me know.
Let me see if I can pick it up. What the fuck?
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
Yeah.
And right there, she whispered something, where the
What the fuck? Where the fuck did he go?
F did he go, or something like that. If you have headphones, please help a brother out and let me know, because I don't have headphones. I cranked it up. I can't catch it.
9 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck did he? Where did he go?
WTF? Something go.
I'm hoping you can tell me that.
What the fuck did he? Where the fuck did he go? Is what she said.
He went to SeaWorld.
He went to SeaWorld.
He's near SeaWorld. That's International Drive. Does he know anybody up there?
I don't think so.
Is there a special
He
place
doesn't
likes
have-
to go?
He doesn't have many friends like that. Like, not locally. Does he have anywhere he would like to go?
Is there a special place he likes to go?
Nothing I can think of.
Here's another picture from the dumpster in Venetian Bay of Stefan throwing away trash.
What day?
That's going to be Monday morning, probably around 7:45.
Has that already been taken? Have you guys been able to look at what was dumped?
Mm-hmm.
What was thrown out?
What do you think was in there?
Clothes? I don't know.
What makes you say clothes?
I would probably say close to, because if she's under the realization of what happened and she, again, still might be in shock, she might be thinking that he did something and got rid of his clothes. So I'm thinking that's what her thought process is. And she might not, I mean, I think she's still in shock. I think that's why we're not seeing a whole bunch of emotion.
I can't tell what he's holding. I don't know if it's a plastic bag full of stuff or...
Inside of that bag is Maddie's backpack, Maddie's school computer, and one of her Crocs.
Are you telling me we're looking for a body right now?
We're looking for Maddie, absolutely. 100% we're looking for her.
No. It's most likely she's not alive.
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Well, he told you just a minute ago, does she look like she's sleeping there? Like, told you that she's not sleeping in the car. I mean, that was him telling you.
Everybody catch that? Let's rewind it. It's raw and it's punching her right in the mouth.
I can't tell what he's holding. I don't know if it's a plastic bag full of stuff or...
Inside of that bag is Maddie's backpack, Maddie's school computer, and one of her Crocs.
Are you telling me we're looking for a body right now?
We're looking for Maddie, absolutely. 100% we're looking for her.
No. It's most likely she's not alive.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I have a feeling that you and Stefan have some sort of communication on places he likes to go, or so, because some of the questions that I ask, it seems like you almost not cover up for him, but kind of defend him or have answers to some of these questions.
Because I want you to have more further insight as to why he
And I
might do
appreciate
things.
that. But you saying he's forgetful and all
Maddie
that
too.
stuff.
I just want you to understand, like, we're all the same. We're both we're all very forgetful. We're all very time blind. It's just part of our ADHD. I just want you to know, like,
what kind of grades does she make at school? Not great. What about her attendance record?
she's got a lot of doctor's appointments that we've gone to. So she's got a lot of absences.
Are they excused or unexcused?
I want to say for the most part excused. Every time I take her to a doctor's office, I bring a note.
Mm. Do you know that for sure, or we're working on getting her school attendance record? I'm just wondering if you being a parent, I would hope that you would know kind of like what her, because I know my daughter's school that if any of them miss one period or 2 periods or something like that, they will call me and say, hey, such and such missed periods 3 or missed period 7 or something like that.
They don't do that. They send out an email and a voicemail, like an automated voicemail, saying your child was absent today from Hunter Street Middle School. But not period 1, 2, 3. It's not early in the morning like some other states do. It's late in the evening at 5 o'clock, or it's really late.
Totally after the fact.
Yeah, totally after. Like it's.
Have you got a lot of those phone calls of her missing class?
While it's redacted right there, I want to say this real quick, and it's already blew by in chat.
I want to know why she's taking her to the
Less
doctor
than
so
60
much.
seconds ago.
Sorry. I want to know why she was taking her to the doctor so much. Because we heard from the teachers' audio, them talking about her having to go to the like being out of school a lot due to doctor's appointments and things like that, that she wasn't there a lot. Why is all of that happening?
So she asked, are you telling me you're looking for a body? And here we are. I mean, listen, nothing. Crickets.
Right. Exactly. But again, I want to give grace because she could still be in shock.
I mean, damn it, man.
I would say, yeah, I have got a good number of those voicemails and stuff. But I mean, even with excused doctor's notes, I'll still get those phone calls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they miss school.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got.
Yeah. I mean, like she's.
I've got to step away for just a second to go refill my coffee. I'll be right back. Hopefully, I don't miss anything important.
Wow.
A lot of those.
Okay. When you say she doesn't make good grades, what's considered not making good grades?
C and under, C, D, F. She's got an IEP.
Mm-hmm.
She struggles with. She's got a few learning disabilities with reading, with mathematics. Her ADHD doesn't help anything at all. She's very spacey, very. Like, she could see a squirrel and completely forget. Like, the teachers have told me, like, they'll tell her to do her work and she'll be like, oh, okay. And then see something, completely get sidetracked and then forget.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always on top of her.
Okay.
But, yeah, she's just, I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Her grades and attendance.
Oh, yeah. Her grades suffer because of her ADHD for sure. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons she got an IEP is because she's technically 2 years behind with her reading level.
Okay. What grade is she in?
7th.
Okay. And I know we talked last night too, and I just kind of want to reiterate, has she had any changes in her behavior in the past few years?
I'll say yes. But it was all around where puberty hit. Mm-hmm. And like the typical teenage, the attitude, the sass, the talking back, the disrespect, the pushing boundaries. She was very much doing that. But that calmed down over the last few months. It got even better when Stefan moved out and went to Northport. Maddie and I were actually seeing a therapist together to try to like work through our issues because we were having problems communicating.
I have something to say about that. So a lot of times if children are being abused, they tend to act out more and get in trouble. But at the same time, you also have to take into account that she's hitting puberty. So could Jen Soto have thought it was just puberty? Or that she was acting out. I think she was acting out because of what was going on. And when Stefan left, it should have been a hint. You know? Like, she got better after Stefan left. That's kind of a hint. But at the same time, I mean, you don't want to think that something like that's happening to your child. So maybe she didn't see it. I don't know. Like I said, I try to give grace, but there's a point where I can't.
So, yeah.
So, Stefan, tell me about his. I know you say he likes to play board games and all that stuff. Is he like. What else does he like to do for fun?
He's a collector. He collects.
Play sports or anything like that?
No.
He collects photos of Madeline.
And hobbies. He collects. Do you know what Tamagotchis are?
Mm-hmm.
He collects Tamagotchis. He's got so many of those. Digimons, lightsabers.
Okay, the Tamagotchi and the Digimon was back from when I was younger. It was like this computerized little pet thing. There's pictures of it on his Reddit. But it was this computerized little pet thing, and you would have to get on your little computerized little keychain thing every day, and like you would have to feed your pet, and you'd have to give your pet water and groom your pet, or your pet would like get sick, and you'd have to, if your pet got sick, you'd have to give it, take care of it and things. It was just a little computerized little keychain, cute little thing. They were real popular when I was younger.
Does he like to go camping? Does he like to go to the beach or any of that stuff?
No.
The beach makes him self-conscious because he doesn't like how his body looks. He calls himself flabby. But no, he's not an outdoorsy person. He doesn't play sports.
And see, she's talking about him in present tense, but was talking about Maddie in past tense, which is concerning.
He doesn't like the beach. Okay, he used to. Okay, this may be relevant. Back a few years ago, I used to own a scooter, an electric scooter, and he owned something called the One Wheel, which is like a kind of like a scooter but with one big round wheel in the middle. We would take that and ride around. The Kissimmee Trail connects back here, so we'd take that to the Kissimmee Bridge, do that trail over there, come back, or also go into Shingle Creek, cross the street, across Hoagland, go behind an apartment complex, and we end up in Shingle Creek. We would ride all of that and explore all of that wetlands and greenery back there. But we haven't done that in a while. We haven't owned scooters or electronic devices in a few years.
Okay.
Tell me about, you said there was an apartment in Northport.
Yeah.
Is that Stefan's mom's and
No.
dad's? Or you guys had a separate apartment?
We rented our own separate apartment.
Okay. Where was that? Obviously Northport, but do you remember the complex name?
Let me see.
And how long ago was that?
This was back in 2020.
Okay.
I don't remember the month we moved in, but we moved out in November of 2020. We were there somewhere between 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Let me see if I have there.
Was it just you three there?
Yes, it was just the three of us.
Okay. Is Northport, I've never been there. Is it a big city, small city?
I'm sorry. So the apartment we used to live in is in the town next door over. It's called Port Charlotte, Florida.
Okay.
That's a small town. Northport, even smaller, I would say. But Northport being more popular because it's attached to Sarasota County, so it has more people living in it. Charlotte County is pretty small.
Is it rural?
Stephen Stearns does not seem like the type to go outside and do things, and her talking about them riding scooters and shit. Again, I don't think this man was with her, not for 1 second. I think he laid eyes on this beautiful child, and that was it. So he put up with Jennifer to be around Maddie.
I mean, there was a city center, and I mean, there was a Tamiami Trail ran through it.
Okay.
So major road, lots of businesses, lots of shops. So no, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, but.
Fun fact is Northport is the third largest city in the state of Florida, square miles wise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that she would be showing a little bit more emotion now.
The name of the
about finding out that Maddie, like him talking about Maddie in the car.
Apartment complex I used to live in is called Charleston K.
Does it still exist today? Is that still what it's called?
I'm not sure. I can Google.
And you don't know him to still own it or rent it?
No, because it was under my name. The
It
apartment
was under your name.
Yeah, and I'm the one who gave up the lease.
Okay.
As far as I know, it still exists.
Oh, Charles K like that. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
From what we heard from the Steppenstern's parents, it seems like she was the type to give up a lease and not finish it out. They talked about how she couldn't keep a job for more than like a couple weeks. All of that.
And you guys, so you were in that apartment for roughly 6 to 8 months, you said, right?
Yes.
Did you live in Port Charlotte or Northport for longer?
No, we immediately
Only
that time we moved right back.
Okay. And what would you guys typically do around there?
We did absolutely nothing. It was during quarantine time, so we were very afraid of COVID, very afraid of going to the store and doing anything. We stayed home, watched movies, watched a lot of Netflix, played a lot of board games.
Okay.
But that was about it. We didn't. Sometimes we'd go to the beach, Venice Beach.
Yep.
But that's about it. We didn't really go anywhere.
Not much stuff outdoors
Mm.
during that time frame?
No, just Venice Beach.
Okay. When did you realize that he went to Northport recently?
When one of the officers told me.
Okay. So what night was that?
Last night.
So they told you last night or he went last night?
They told me last night that he had went earlier that morning to Northport in my car.
Okay. Were you guys staying at the hotel together?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you not notice him gone? Did you sleep through it?
I slept through it. I went to sleep around.
Excuse me, ma'am. You couldn't sleep through your daughter being on the bed with you because she might roll around and wake you up, but you slept through Steppenstern's leaving the hotel room for at least an hour and coming back, and you just slept through that, but you can't sleep through your child being in the bed with you because she might kick you. Again, this is not adding up.
3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I did not wake up until 9. And that's when I noticed he was gone. And I called Stefan's dad, Chris, who was in the same hotel. I said, "Hey, is Stefan with you?" He goes, "No, he's not with you." And I'm like, "No, he must have left and my car keys are gone." He's like, "Oh." I'm just like, maybe he ran out to get some food, or maybe he ran out to get something, or to Target.
And we heard that with the first interview with Steppenstern's dad.
And he's like, "Okay, we'll just give him a little bit to wait."
Why didn't you call him directly?
Stefan?
You have a phone?
I don't think he had a phone.
Okay.
And I think his dad eventually did give him a phone for him to use, but that was later that morning. And I was never given that phone number either, so I never had a way to contact him.
Okay. Why do you think he would go there?
I was told he went into a storage unit. I have no freaking clue what he would be getting in a storage unit or hiding.
Do you know about the storage unit?
I have heard of the storage unit. I've always known Chris or his parents to always have storage units. They own a lot of shit. They're kind of a little bit like hoarders, but they own a lot of stuff. They have, I think, a few storage units, or they did. I think they may have condensed down to just one, maybe. But
And I guess we know they're still looking for Maddie, so they're thinking that maybe he put her in a storage unit or her body, because the police know at this point, and they're trying to break it to her that Madeline is no longer with us in the spiritual sense. And I guess they were trying to check the storage units.
yeah, I've always known them to have storage units.
Okay. And if you were to leave from Kissimmee, what way would I go to get to Northport or Port Charlotte?
I-4 down to 75 to exit 179, I think, Toledo Blade Road.
Toledo Blade?
Yeah. And they live pretty close right off the highway.
Did you see him when he got back eventually?
Yes.
Did you ask him?
Yeah, where the fuck he was. I'm like, an officer's coming right now to interview us. Where the fuck have you been? This would have looked terrible if you weren't there. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I went out to go get some food and I found a Wawa and then I got turned around and I got lost and then I made it my way back here. And we're like, oh, okay. Not fucking thinking anything other.
I need
The shit's suspicious as hell, and you still ain't picked up on the fact that this man might have done something to your child. I mean, I don't know, maybe the medication, but
somebody to tell me what the hell is a Wawa?
it's a food place, I believe. I don't know. I think it was a food place or a gas station. One of the two.
What is a Wawa?
Than just believing him. I
Oh,
feel like
okay.
so stupid because I don't know how long he's probably been lying to me about the stupidest shit for the longest time. Like
Yeah.
So he said he went out to get food.
Yeah. And he came back with he had a cup of from Wawa. He was drinking a drink.
Do you remember what time he got back?
Like 11:15 a.m.
Okay, so you were up around 9ish, you just told me?
Yeah.
So from the time you were up by the time you got back, roughly 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, and he came back with a Wawa cup.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So during that time frame, he tells you he's been lost, got turned around, essentially.
Yeah. And he had no way.
For 2 hours.
Yeah, he didn't have a phone. He didn't know how to get back to the hotel room. That's obviously bullshit.
Yeah.
Did
Did you tell him that?
No, but no, I'm speaking as from what I know right now. That's obviously bullshit. From what I was told by one of you guys, or from what I kind of calculated, he must have left the house in order for him to make this round trip to Northport and make it back by 11. He must have left 5 to 6 hours ago.
And you can hear her voice is louder now. She's showing emotion, but you're not showing emotion about your child being deceased, ma'am. Like, you're showing emotion, anger about Stephen Stearns and the shit he was doing, but you're not showing any emotion about your child. That's concerning.
So I'm just like, that makes it like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. I don't know, something like that. I'm just like, so he waited for me to fall asleep and then he left.
And you said you went to bed around what time?
3:30, 4 o'clock.
100%.
He waited for me to fall asleep and he fucking left.
Okay, I get that part. Are you 100%?
You're
that you went
fucking
to sleep?
more emotional about that than your child. What
Oh,
the
that's
fuck,
what you're asking
man?
me. I thought you were confirming me like 100%. That's what he's doing. Trying to see if there's any way I can like. I saw the clock saying 3:30 when I got up to go to the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for a little while and then I came back.
And he was there.
He was there and he was asleep. So I went to bed around that time. I was in the bathroom for, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes. I had terrible dinner and it just was not okay. But when I got out, he was awake, or he was asleep. I'm sorry. He actually mentioned, oh man, I woke up really early this morning, around 4, and he mentioned waking up around 4-ish because he had really bad diarrhea and used the restroom. He mentioned that the following day.
And just so I'm on the same thought process, what day were you guys in the hotel?
What day were we in the hotel?
Would that have been Tuesday night?
Really late Tuesday night. So I think it was technically Wednesday morning when we checked into the hotel. It was really early. But yeah, Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning.
Okay. I want to divert a little bit with Maddie.
So this is probably going to be a redacted part.
Wah 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 wah.
Never. Okay. Did she disclose to you about her? Has she had a period yet? Do you know?
Yeah.
Did she disclose to you?
Okay.
This is going to be, I'm thinking, in reference to her possibly, them thinking that maybe the motive was that she was pregnant. Because remember, they haven't found her body yet. So we don't know if she could have been pregnant. And with the photos and videos they found on Stefan's phone, they're probably thinking that that might be a motive. So they're going to be asking questions like this.
Okay. Perk up.
In my opinion.
Listen up. Take a shot of whatever, coffee, water, orange juice, adult beverage. Perk up. Listen up.
You about that?
Yes.
So do you know her regular
Cycle? I usually put it, she usually tells me when she gets it, and we put it in an app.
Mm-hmm.
I must have missed it this month, or she must have not told me this month when she got it, but I have it written down when she got it back in January.
When should she have had it this month, roughly?
The beginning of the month. She got it January 1st. So it should have been around the end of February.
First January, 1st of February?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And was she pretty consistent on telling you?
Yeah, she would tell me when she would get her period. And then she'd actually also tell me every time she used the restroom. Like, Mom, success, I pooped. And I'm like, cool. Because
right.
She's got GI issues.
And you,
It's unfortunate that we know why she was having issues in that area. And I don't understand how Jenn didn't know.
she didn't tell you about this last cycle?
No.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I've seen it go flying by in chat. Some of the questions are like from last week's new audio that we got, but they were asked by different people. So, and that interview was from actually April the 18th. This interview is from February 29th. So, yeah, there's some similarities in it, but there's new details.
You find that odd?
Yes. Now that you're bringing it up, yes.
So Maddie didn't bring it up that she didn't have her period during February.
Would there be
So was she pregnant?
obvious signs when she's on her cycle? As far as like certain products she might use?
Yeah, her pads.
Mm-hmm.
The pads she would use. I would get her a box every 2 cycles or so. Because one box would last her 2 cycles. She would typically complain of her breast hurting, having terrible cramps. But I didn't hear any of that this month.
Nothing in February. Nothing in no complaints in February.
You didn't hear any of that. Okay.
But you said she's been consistent every month telling you about her period.
She's been late a few times, and she's told me, or sometimes her period has lasted way longer than normal. I'll call it irregular because mine was irregular when I was younger too. So I just assumed just her body working through it, trying to regulate itself.
And that's normal.
Do you find it odd that it would be a month late?
Yeah.
I feel like the officer is trying to kind of break things to her that he's figured out in a kind way.
Do you find it odd that it's a month late? And remember, they use that app to track it. There's no mention of her checking that app. Now, I'm not telling you that Maddie was pregnant. Please don't misunderstand that. I'm not telling you that, because
And right, we don't know if she was, but it's a possibility because we don't know. I hope to God she wasn't, but it's a possibility, unfortunately.
we don't find that out factually. It doesn't come from the horse's mouth, meaning Jenn, she's obviously clueless, but we don't hear it from the detective either. But just saying.
Those images you guys showed me with the car, is there any more?
I mean, none that I can show you right now, but yes, there's quite a few.
But we don't see where he ends up going in the car.
Where do you think he would go?
I have no idea. If I knew, I would tell you.
So again, I talked about how she could have been in shock and not realized what he was saying about her not being asleep in the car, and maybe it's hitting her now. I don't know. But she showed emotion yesterday about Stefan. I mean, not yesterday. She showed emotion about Stefan leaving the motel room and that situation, but not anything about Maddie. And that, I mean, it's still concerning regardless. I try to look at everything from every perspective, but it's still, there's some things with this case I just can't.
What general direction did you say he headed in?
He's all over the place. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but this is just, we've been doing this job a very long time, as you can tell with all the gray in my beard. Your emotion when I told you.
Here we go. Call her out. Call her out.
You broke down.
That's redactions. So I'm assuming this is all redacted.
He straight up checks her right here. So listen to this.
I hope so.
He's checking her about her emotions too.
We've been doing this job a very long time, as you can tell with all the gray in my beard. Your emotion when I told you you broke down. Do you remember that? Like, instantly crying.
There's only so much we can pass up to the mood stabilizers that she was more than likely on, being bipolar. Like, eventually, that's not gonna account for the no emotion, and he's calling her on it, and I'm glad.
Crying. But when you talk about her possibly missing, or God forbid, deceased, that emotion changed.
What do you mean by changed?
So when I told you,
Redacted.
you broke down and started crying. Okay.
I love this detective too.
But then when
Mom.
I showed you the pictures and said that she may not be asleep in those pictures, your emotion just changed.
I don't want to believe it. I want to. In my heart, I know you're showing me what you're showing me, and you're telling me he threw away her backpack. And I want to assume the worst. I want to think. I don't want to assume the worst. I want to assume that she's still alive, that she's out there, that he's hidden her somewhere. But with what you're showing me,
Yeah, they're hitting you in the face with straight facts about your daughter might be dead, and you're showing more emotion about the fact that he left the hotel room than the fact that your daughter might be dead. Like, I don't understand. Did you not care for her enough? Because what I've got to conclude from this is that you cared more about Stefan than you did your daughter, right? Because you're showing more emotion about him leaving the fucking hotel room than you are about your daughter possibly being dead. So obviously you cared about Stefan more than you did your daughter, in my opinion, judging by your emotional state here. And if that's so, then again, I have to go back to the interview in the beginning with Fox 35, where she's consoling Stefan like he's a child and not a boyfriend. And I have to assume that you actually knew and you did serve your daughter up to him on a silver fucking platter. I mean, this is, as it says at the bottom, everything I state is my opinion and only speculation, but I don't know what other conclusions you could make from this.
feels like we're looking for a body.
Yeah.
I'm just in shock. I don't want to believe that she's dead in those images you showed me. She doesn't look like she's sleeping. Who sleeps? When you sleep in a car, you sleep with your head on the door. Her head was over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now she's getting called out by him for not showing emotion, and she's trying to basically excuse herself. Oh, I'm in shock. If you were, and I did give that to her. She could be in shock, but if you're in shock, you're not going to say I'm in shock. And not mean it in you would say I'm shocked, maybe, but not I'm in shock. And she's getting called out by him, and she's trying to make excuses for not showing emotion. And the only thing I can come up with is that she didn't care about Madeline. So she doesn't care. She can't fake her emotion that she cares about Madeline being deceased. So is that what's going on here? Now she's going to try to fake it till she makes it?
I don't know what you want me to say or do, or
Bitch. He wants you to show emotion about your fucking child the same way you showed emotion about your fucking boyfriend leaving the hotel room. I don't know what you want me to say or do, so let me fake this until I make it and cry and act like I cared about my fucking child. Are you fucking serious? Lord, forget, I'm trying not to cuss. It's Sunday, but good Lord. Good Lord.
I just want my daughter back.
And this is Exactly what I was just talking about. We are literally having a conversation right now about Maddie possibly being dead.
Yeah.
And you have yet to shed a tear. But when I mentioned to you that
I'm glad that he's calling her on it. And this is going to lead me to question whether she knew or not. I mean, how do you not shed a tear? How do you not show emotion? Is it because you already knew what happened and you helped Stefan? Or you knew what happened and you didn't help Stefan and you just knew what was going on and what had already transpired? And if so, you're an accessory to murder, just by the way.
I got to pause it there. Let's listen to that again. Cause, checkmate. Checkmate.
Just want my daughter back.
And this is exactly what I was just talking about. We are literally having a conversation right now about Maddie possibly being dead.
Yeah.
And you have yet to shed a tear. But when I mentioned to you that you were crying violently almost. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because that was physical proof. That was proof of what was happening.
This is you, again, excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one.
That destroyed me. Until that picture of her asleep or not asleep in the car is not proof to me until I see a body. I have hope that she's still alive. But I don't know what you're telling me. I'm starting to fucking doubt everything. But I can't.
Notice that she's cussing now because she's getting called out, and it's making her mad that she's getting called out. Not that her daughter is probably deceased, but that she's getting called out for her bullshit. Now she's cussing.
I can tell you why I broke down over one, and I'm being really serious now.
I can't tell you why I broke down over one and I'm being serious now. I can, because you cared about one more than you cared about the other. And unfortunately, that's your fucking nasty ass predator boyfriend that you cared more about than you did for your own flesh and blood child that you carried in your womb for 9 months. Again, I try to give grace. I really do. But there's only so much I can give. I do too, Jenny. I really do. I don't know what other conclusion we can come to than that she knew what was happening and that she knows what has happened and transpired.
So here's what's going to happen. Starting tomorrow, it's already started, but tomorrow there's going to be information being released between our department and Orange County's Sheriff's Office, is that now this entire investigation is the Kissimmee Police Department's investigation. Okay. I think I told you that last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, we are probably going to start working this case as a homicide.
Okay.
You hear that? We're going to start working this case as a homicide. Okay. 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 I mean, damn it, man.
Because he's in jail right now for... Okay. He's in jail for that.
So there's no denying she's been hit with the fact that this is a homicide investigation, which means, I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to connect the clues that he's telling her that her child is deceased.
But we believe he possibly has done something to Maddie. And we want to know where he would possibly go. Now, this is going to be a very difficult situation. But do you have any knowledge of what he has done with her?
I wish I could tell you, but I don't. I have no idea.
She says, no, I wish I could tell you. I have no idea. It's that was really low too. And that was either the detective's stomach or her stomach that was growling, I guess. That wasn't me.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew I would tell you.
He's in jail right now for okay. He's in jail for that.
Sorry,
But
I didn't
we
realize I
believe
was muted.
he
I said, I'm sorry to take it back. Sometimes he can't make out what she's saying through the tears and the mumbling. I have raised 8 children, so I'm pretty good at telling with the mumbling and the crying and stuff. So I'm going to try to tell you what she's saying and help us figure out all that. And with the stomach issue, I said, I hope that somebody's stomach was turning and not growling. I hope somebody's not hungry after all this. My goodness.
possibly has done something to Maddie. And we want to know where he would possibly go. Now, this is going to be a very difficult situation. But do you have any knowledge of what he has done with her?
I wish I could tell you, but I don't. I have no idea.
I wish I could tell you, but I don't. I have no idea.
She says, no, I wish I could tell you. I have no idea. It's that was really low too.
Somebody is hungry.
That was either the detective's stomach.
That's not somebody's stomach turning. That's somebody hungry.
Or her stomach that was growling, I guess. That wasn't me.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew I would tell you. Having it be such the homicide makes it official for me.
I'm typing, so I didn't catch the first part, but having something homicide, that makes it official for me.
Is there any more images you could show me?
Not at this time. No.
She asked him if there was any more pictures that he could show her.
And he threw away her backpack. That was her
And he threw away her backpack. That was
backpack
her.
in that bag.
I didn't catch it.
He threw away her backpack. I have no clue what she says after that.
How long does somebody go to jail for this? Please tell me it's so much.
How long can
Okay, he's about to tell you, but how long does somebody go to jail for this? Please tell me it's so much. Again, I can't help but feeling she's showing more emotion for Stefan than Maddie. Please tell me it's so much. I mean, like, you were just showing more emotion over the fact he left the hotel room than the fact that they told you your daughter might be deceased. Like, for real?
somebody go to jail for this? Now, why? Where? Damn it, man! Where is that question coming from? How long can somebody go to jail for this?
She does say, please tell me it's so long, but I'm going to tell you what, if I found out somebody had laid a finger on one of my children or one of my bonus children, I wouldn't be asking about jail time. I would be asking about 5 minutes alone. And then we wouldn't have to worry about it. He'd be under the damn 6 feet under. I'm not worried. You're gonna get to live your life for in jail 25 years with the possibility of parole. Maybe do half that time on good behavior. No, nope. I need 5 minutes alone. Not even 5. Give me 2. That's it. Well, I'll solve the problem. You took from me a life, and I'm going to take from you a life. That's just it. That's just all.
So that tells me she's more worried about how long either maybe she's going to go to jail, or she's definitely worried about how long Stefan's going to go to jail.
She did say, please tell me it's so long, but
I mean, where did that question come from?
Her backpack. That was her backpack in that bag.
Her backpack something.
How long does somebody go to jail for this? Please tell me it's so much.
If he did something to her that led in her death, yeah, he's going to prison for life. He's probably going to prison for life.
So, like, multiple life sentences, fine. Fuck him. Oh my god.
What? Multiple life sentences, fine, fuck him. Oh my god. Like, that's like a bad breakup. Fine, fuck you. Roll out. I don't want to talk to you no more. Bye. Like, what the fuck? Fine, fuck him. You just found out he possibly murdered your child. And fine, fuck him. What?
Has he tried reaching out to you from jail?
No.
Has he tried reaching out to anybody from jail?
I don't know. I talked to his dad earlier, but he didn't share much information. I don't even. Did I ask him? I can't recall if I asked him if he's reached out to him.
I can't recall if I've asked him if he's reached out to him, talking about Stefan calling his parents. And notice she just stopped crying from what it sounds like.
I don't remember his conversation this morning.
See, just completely back to talking completely normal. That's just, okay.
Sorry.
Anything else? All right, we are going to check on the
It really does sound like that she would still want a relationship or be in a relationship with him if there was no life sentence. It's hard to not think that she cared about Stefan way more than she cared about Maddie. And if you take that into account, I don't think there's no way she didn't know about all the images and pictures on his phone. It's sick, man. Good Lord. I hope this child is resting in heaven, because that's where she deserves to be. I mean, this is just sick. I really do, Jenny, believe that she would be in a relationship with him again. She might give it a couple years to let things die down and move behind the scenes or something. But yeah, I think they'd be back together. But he wouldn't get back with her because he never wanted Jennifer for Jennifer. He wanted Jennifer for Maddie, which is, again, sick, but it's the truth,
The
unfortunately.
progress that they're making inside, real quick.
Did he tell you where she's at?
No. I haven't spoken to, like, since when? Like, in the hotel?
Anytime.
No, never. Like,
We need to find her.
I know. I wish I knew where to tell you guys to look. I fucking wish. Like, could you show me, like, a map of where around town he was so I could point out maybe this, maybe this, maybe this?
There's too many places.
I think she knew, and I think she would point them in every direction but where Madeline was actually located. Is it possible that she didn't know that he murdered her? Yes. I don't think that, I think she knew what happened, but it's possible that she didn't, given all the mental health medication she was on. But there's no way she didn't know what he was doing to her. I mean, and again, she cared more about him than her. So when she figured it out, did she stay with him because she cared more about him than Maddie? Is my question. And I think that's the answer. I think that's why they broke up for a while back in November. I think maybe she figured it out and she told him to leave, but then she let him right back in the house, and then it was back on for him. Sick motherfucker.
Has he ever talked about giving Maddie medication? Like any of his medication?
I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? Or
But she told you that she took a pill that was bigger than what she normally was supposed to take. So where else would she have gotten that pill? If it wasn't from you, and it wasn't her Madeline's medication that Madeline normally took, and she told you there was something bigger in her medication than what she normally takes, where else would she have gotten that medication? Like, again, you had to make some connections, being a logical, functioning adult, able to drive a car and get a job, even if you didn't keep them that long. You have to have some of your faculties intact. So when she told you that she took a pill that was bigger than what she normally took, where the fuck else would she have gotten it from?
No.
okay. Have you ever given her any of your medication?
She's got her own anxiety medication.
Do you double check her medication?
When we give it to her? Yeah. I make sure I grab the bottle or she grabs the bottle, but like somebody's got eyes on her, grabbing the pills and taking them. Like, it's a tag team situation. She's not allowed to take them alone. So we just make sure that we got to watch her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong bottle and accidentally take Adderall before bed, because that sounds like a terrible idea.
How long have you guys lived in Osceola County?
On and off for 12 years.
What about Stefan?
On and off for 6.
Okay. Would you say he's pretty familiar with Osceola County? Does he venture off?
No. I know he'll visit he likes to visit gaming shops and like board game shops. Does he drive around aimlessly just to kill? I mean, just to drive? I don't think so. I think he goes out with plans.
notice how she got that? He don't drive around just to kill, and she's going to say kill time, but she catches herself and changes it.
I wonder why.
Okay. Does he have?
Like, you wouldn't relate. He doesn't drive around to kill time, as in the word kill, as in talking about Maddie, to a phrase like driving around to kill time. So why did she catch herself saying that and change it unless she was concerned about admitting that she knew that Stefan killed Maddie? Is that I mean, I think it's a possibility.
Have close friends that live here?
In Central Florida, no.
No.
Mm-mm. The majority of his friends are in Northport, Florida.
Northport.
Mm-hmm.
Does he go with cars?
Or she grabs the bottle, but like somebody's got eyes on her, grabbing the pills and taking them. Like, it's a tag team situation. She's not allowed to take them alone. So we just make sure that 12 years.
What about Stefan?
On and off for 6.
Okay. Would you say he's pretty familiar with Osceola County? Does he venture off?
No. I know he'll visit he likes to visit gaming shops and like board game shops. Does he drive around aimlessly just to kill? I mean, just to
Somebody asked me to play it back, so I wrote it back for you. There it was.
drive? I don't think so. I think he goes out with plans.
Okay. Does he have close friends that live here?
In Central Florida, no.
No.
Mm-mm. The majority of his friends are in Northport, Florida.
Northport.
Mm-hmm.
Does he go with cars?
Is he good with cars?
What do you know how to change the oil, change a tire?
I mean, supposedly he said he changed the tire on Monday and hurt himself.
And we know, judging by the way he doesn't get out much. He's into games and things like that. I would think that he doesn't know much about cars. Seems like he was very much babied and coddled his whole life.
So I don't know how good that makes you if you hurt yourself.
Melly, are you still here? Yeah, I see you right there. Melly, I need you to slow down and chat, please. If I can find you. Hit me up on DM on Twitter, please.
But yeah.
Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
The vehicle that you guys towed, that was his? Did it have a donut on the car?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Do you not know his car?
No, I do know his car. I just don't remember if I ever actually saw the donut or not. I never came to inspect the car. I was wondering, was that true? Was that part of the story true? Did he actually get a flat tire?
Who is in St. Cloud?
I know people in St. Cloud, and he doesn't know where they live.
Does he know those same people?
He's met them before and talked to them before when they've come over here.
Okay. Where do they live in St. Cloud?
Off of Old Canoe Creek Road. Do you want me to get you an address?
Sure.
Has he ever went with you to go see him?
Never.
No. I've never even gone to her house like that to hang out. She always comes to my house. So they know each other. She lives in St. Cloud, but we've never gone to St. Cloud together with her to her house.
And how do you know her? She work with you?
Yeah, she's an old coworker from 14, 15 years ago.
From Disney?
No,
No.
we used to work at a pizzeria. That was when I was a lot younger.
Are you texting her?
Would you like me to call or would you like to text?
No, I thought you were just gonna pull it up. It's off of Old Canoe Creek.
Yeah, I don't know her exact. I don't know the exact street or address or. I want to say it's actually. Hold on. If I pull up a map. So
I just saw a comment, and we remember from hearing the Stearns talk yesterday that she was more concerned about losing her disability than she was about getting a job. And of course, that's going to be their opinion, but in my opinion, that's true too. And it just sucks because she's more concerned with everything else. Like Madeline was the last thing on earth this woman cared about, in my opinion, from what it looks like, so it's just sad. The whole situation is just real sad.
she lives off of this road right here, Nolte Road in St. Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Nolte. That's 182 right there. This Old Canoe Creek, Nolte. She lives around there.
Would you be able to point it to me?
To which house? No.
Not the specific house, but like, is it in a neighborhood? Does she have her own land?
It is in a neighborhood. I don't remember where though. I don't know how far down. I have to drive down Nolte.
Are you familiar with Nolte?
No.
No.
No, I think I've only dropped her off at her house once.
Drop Maddie off there?
No. My friend.
Oh, your friend. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm
You
not
want
sure.
to text for the address?
Yeah, let me text.
Yeah. And what was her name?
Michelle Mason. Masson.
2 S's?
Yeah.
So he's doing this because they're trying again to figure out where Steppen went in Northport.
The thing is, I don't think Steppen would know where she lives, but
No, I'm not saying that he did, but I'm just trying to see who you would know in St. Cloud.
okay.
That's all.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only person. There might be somebody else that lives like closer to Harmony, but that's the only people I know.
What does it say?
Michelle Mason, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
What part of Nolte was it on?
kind of want to skip it, but I'm scared we'll miss something.
Hit that thumbs up, gang, if you haven't yet.
That is so
Stevens Plantation.
Stevens Plantation. It is gonna be.
I do think, because I want to play the rest of this, and I've still got an hour left, and I'm going to try my best to get through this. I will see if whatever updates we got going on with the Kentucky gunman, but we'll have to finish the Stearns parents interview, Stefan's parents interview or interrogation. I'll have to do that tomorrow, and I'll change my thumbnail because I don't like having things on my thumbnail that I didn't go over or that are not in my video. So I do apologize about that. But if I did go over that, I'd be here for so long. And there's no way. I got other things I got to do today, unfortunately.
I don't know what that is. But if you go on Burberry Place.
Okay. Yep. No, it's not. All right. Well, we're gonna check, see how they're going on inside. Like what we did last night. Do you swear and affirm everything that you've told us today is to the best of your knowledge will help you God?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're gonna conclude this interview. It is 6:35 p.m.
Okay, the next interview is on 3-1. Melody just taught me how to slow the chat down. Sorry it took an hour and a half, but I didn't ask. And as soon as I did, she led me right to it. This next interview is on 3-1. It is 40 minutes long.
I know you guys left me.
Okay, I do want to get through this one. So I'm not sure what date they found the body and if it had been found by now. But I do want to listen to this one too. It's showing my signal is slow on StreamYard. Okay, it just went away. I was going to say, because I've got full bars.
A paper with a list of stuff you guys have taken.
Really low.
Really read it, right?
Let me turn it back up.
It's written pretty lightly.
Oh, not that.
Electronics that were taken from the house. Will that be eventually returned once it's all looked at? Like, do you keep it forever? How does this work?
Eventually, it'll be returned. Yes.
Okay.
How long that takes, I don't know. It depends on how much stuff's on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
All right. Like I said, I just have a few more follow-up things to ask about our conversations last night. So
this is the same day she was found.
Okay.
We're going to take you to the Orange County Sheriff's Office to pick up your car because they said they're done processing it. They have your key up there. So I don't know if you brought a spare key with you or not. But
I don't know. That the key that actually, just kidding, I might have my actual original key, but the key that you guys have up there is my spare key.
Oh, okay. So they have it up. And regardless, we have a key for you in case you don't have one. Your dad mentioned something to the effect that your sister saw that there's going to be some kind of press conference today?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah. So I'm wondering, though, still, if this is like them telling her. I guess we'll find out if the police are going to tell her now that they found her body, or, I mean, I'm assuming that's what this is, them basically breaking down to her that they found her body. Let's see how she reacts, if she has emotion yet or not.
Just to let you know, we touched about it briefly last night that we are taking over the investigation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you say we, you mean homicide?
The Kissimmee Police Department.
Oh, okay.
So, but to answer your question, yes, we are now working this as a homicide.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have strong beliefs that Maddie is deceased.
And again, seems like no emotion. I hate her too, Sam C. I'm sorry, but I don't know how you can be told by police that a homicide detective is taking over your case and not care, regardless of how many mood stabilizers you are on. I don't get that.
So I don't want you to be caught off guard when that's being talked about later, okay?
Am I gonna be there at the press conference? Am I gonna hear it?
I don't know if it's gonna be something.
She said, "Am I going to be there at the press conference? Am I going to hear it?" In case somebody can't understand her.
That the family's invited to, those decisions are way above my pay grade. It's just, I don't think they would want you there for that just because. But I may be wrong. To answer your question honestly, I do not know.
I've been avoiding the internet because my family's telling me like stuff has been leaked or reports from you guys on the New York Post or something.
I've been avoiding the internet because my family's been telling me stuff has been linked from you guys, stuff on the New York Post.
They're all traumatized from reading it. They're all telling me don't.
They're all traumatized from reading it, and they're all telling me don't.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear anything.
Well, the only
I don't want to, I think she said see anything. I don't want to hear anything.
report that is been released is the stuff that we've already been discussed about, that he was having a relationship with your daughter.
But somebody said that was like a redacted report or something with graphic details in it.
Somebody said there was like a redacted report or something with graphic details in it.
Yeah, I don't know what's been redacted and what hasn't. So let me ask you this. Where all have you looked for Maddie?
Now, that got real rough. Trying to hear what she was saying because it's cranked up. Were you guys able to catch what she said?
Yes.
I know it. I mean, I couldn't get it any higher, but it's rough.
Try to skip it because I think he plays it again.
Trying to hear what she was saying because it's
maybe.
I don't want to hear it. And in the middle there, she's talking about her family's telling her about something. But it's tough. It's tough.
But I may be wrong. To answer your question honestly, I do not know.
That's a great point, Jenny. I'm wondering if, I mean, you have to think of it like, okay, is she not wanting to go because she feels like they're going to be doing a press conference saying that her child is deceased, and she don't want to be there and on camera when she finds out her child is deceased? But again, why? Like, how would she know that they were going to talk about that? Because she hasn't been told yet. All she's been told is that they're working a homicide. So if you take that, if you think about it in that aspect, if she didn't know that her daughter was already deceased, yeah, why wouldn't she want to be there front and center? If she did know her daughter was deceased and that they were going to talk about it in the press conference, then I could understand maybe not wanting to be on camera when you find that out, but that's giving too much credit to the situation. She shouldn't know that yet. That's a great point.
I've been avoiding the internet because my family's telling me like stuff has been leaked or reports from you guys on the New York Post or something. They're all traumatized from reading it. They're all telling me don't. I don't want to. I don't want to hear anything.
Well, the only report that is been released is the stuff that we've already been discussed about, that he was having a relationship with your daughter.
But somebody said that was like a redacted report or something with graphic details in it.
Yeah, I don't know what's been redacted and what hasn't.
And we just went over that and everything that they're talking about.
So let me ask you this. Where all have you looked for Maddie?
I haven't looked anywhere. I've stayed while we were at home. While we were allowed to be at home, I stayed at home just in case she would come back. Somebody to be home while she was back.
Okay.
And for now, since I haven't been able to go back home, I've been at my sister's house just hiding out. I don't want to be seen in public. I don't want anyone. I already had my own security gate. Like when I drove in there, they recognized me by my name, and when I told them my name and just the response, I wasn't prepared for just everyone to recognize me and know what's happening. This is huge.
Yeah, because everybody sees through your bullshit and is wondering why you offered your daughter up on a silver platter to this monster, in my opinion.
But I haven't, back to your question, I haven't gone out looking for.
You don't want to deal with that, but never mind the shit that Madeline was dealing through on a daily basis, having fucking nightmares to the point that she had to be put on sleep medication because this monster was creeping in her bed at night. Never mind all that. You don't want to be seen in public because your daughter is deceased and everybody's got a bunch of questions about how the fuck you didn't know. I'm sorry, but nope. You deserve to be put in a town square and answer every question you're asked.
For her because I don't know where to search, and I haven't. The only place I thought of where to search would be Shingle Creek behind her school because of the whole woods comment, but you guys have been doing that and I didn't want to get in the way of that.
So in case anybody doesn't know, she stated to one of her friends that she just wanted to go live in the woods when she turned 13. And again, I mean, damn, the child felt more safe living alone in the woods by herself than she did at home. Never mind all the lions and tigers and bears in the woods. She'd rather be there because she knows there's a real monster at her house. She'd rather deal with the wild animals in the woods. It's heartbreaking.
I don't know where this information came from, and I don't know if it's true or not, but you would be the only person to answer this. Does Maddie have any siblings?
Maddie has a half sibling. No, just kidding. She's
See,
got
that shit.
Sibling?
No, just kidding. Why the fuck are you saying Maddie has a half sibling? No, just kidding. She has a step sibling. What? Why do you say shit like that? Just kidding. Ma'am, you're not just kidding. Why would you not say, oh, sorry, I misspoke? Or wait a minute, let me correct that. No, just kidding. That shit irks me. What the fuck kind of shit is that?
I was married once upon a time, and we raised our girls together for about 4 years.
Uh-huh.
That's who she would consider her sister.
Okay. Do you know what is Dad's name?
Stephen Young.
Steven?
Yeah.
I hope she would know the dad's name.
Where does he live?
In Colorado, but they actually flew in to be with me. So they're here in town right now.
Okay. Do you happen to have a phone number for him?
Yeah.
And what's the...
They're going to redact his phone number. See? Somebody else. Just kidding.
How old is she?
Exactly. The hell?
I think she'll be turning 15 this year. But I will warn you.
And that's Steven's number. Okay. When were you guys together?
Yesterday.
No, I'm talking about relationship-wise.
Oh,
Yeah, Mercy.
so from 2013 to 2017.
She said from 2013 to 2017. That's him rubbing on the microphone to his body cam, I'm assuming.
Got married in 2015.
And did you guys live in Kissimmee at the time?
We lived in that Kissimmee house for a while. And then for a while we lived separated, where I lived in Kissimmee and he lived in a house in downtown Orlando, and we were just seeing each other back and forth.
Gotcha. Okay. This may be a dumb question. I'm going to answer it anyways. Has Stefan ever?
Yeah, here's the paper shuffler.
Yes.
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 Where?
Words are loud.
Like, where would they be?
Where would they have hung out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at Steven's house, when he lived in Williamsburg, by SeaWorld.
Okay.
I remember one instance where we all went trick-or-treating together. But I'm not sure how many times we all hung out as a group. I know he knows him and they've met each other and all that stuff, but I can't recall how many times we've hung out, but we have hung out.
And you said Williamsburg is where? Near where?
SeaWorld.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that dad distanced himself from Stefan because he picked up that something just wasn't right. I would like to know that person who also has a young child, a young girl. I would like to know his first impression of Stefan being a man with a daughter. You know, I'd love to know what his first impression of Stefan was.
How did them two meet? Or how did them two know each other? Steven and Steven.
I introduced them.
Okay.
I thought that they would get along well because they both like nerdy board games. And just kidding, yeah. So they would hang out even on their own for a while because.
Oh, just kidding. Yeah. So they would hang out. I mean, why are you saying just kid? Like it is that something that was done a lot around her? For her to pick up on that language and use it in passing like she does. Like, did Stefan come up? Wow, Madeline's really blossoming into a beautiful young lady. Just kidding. I think Madeline is very attractive. Just kidding. Just kidding. Like that. I don't like her context at all with that.
Because they were playing board games. They were playing board games together.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. We got a bitch boy who thinks he's going to come in here and pop off.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna try to skip this part.
So say something else and let me catch it. I'm not going to try to catch you by scroll.
And you said he lives in Colorado now?
Yeah, sorry. Let me back it up just a little bit. We'll have to listen to the docket.
Playing board games. They were playing board games together.
Whoa. Hang on a minute. We got a bitch.
That they would get along well because they both like nerdy.
All right,
games.
I'm putting it here, and that's it.
So say something else and let me catch it. I'm not going to try to catch you by scrolling back through chat and running it for everybody else. Take your punk ass on up out of here.
Well, you heard that.
A long while. So yeah, they hung out even without me around. Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to know Steven's birthday, do you? And you said he lives in Colorado now?
Yeah.
Is Steven married?
Yes.
Is his wife with him here with?
Yes.
I gotcha.
When do they move out there?
A year or two ago, not sure exactly how long.
Any idea if Steven and Stefan has still been communicating?
In the last few days, yes.
I don't think it's in the last few days because he's been in jail.
No, sorry. Before he got arrested.
Okay.
How do you know?
So taking that into account, the fact that she's like misremembering dates and things, I have to question this medication that she's on. Is it causing her to not be all there? Because I have to look at it from all perspectives. Is she really that out of it on this medication? And if so, I mean, a normal person would have a lot of concern for her child. And obviously, her child kind of lay at the wayside, in her opinion, or because she's on this medication, I don't know. But that's them mood stabilizers. That's why I stopped taking them so many years ago. They're not good. It's not good.
Because we were all contacting each other.
How would you contact each other?
I was texting Stephen Young and making phone calls with Stephen Young. But this is
Would you happen to have those messages on your phone?
yes.
Can I see?
Yes. The discussions we were having were like trying to get Stefan a lawyer. Because this is when I thought he was still innocent, but he's not.
Tell me about the Williamsburg. Is it like a neighborhood? Is it apartments? Condos?
House, neighborhood house.
You think so, Elon? You think so?
Oh, Lord.
Go back to where I know where you're coming from, and take your punk ass back over there, because you're jealous that Plunder, myself, and Grizzly paid for this.
Don't feed the trolls, Docket. That's the best way to handle that. Don't feed the trolls.
Now go back over there where you're all butthurt, so you're going to start coming over here and trolling. So no, go back over there and take your little puckered asses and keep it and stay over there.
Yeah, it's
Almost like
just a neighborhood like that. Yeah, but they're like older homes. They're like 2-bedroom homes where the bedrooms are like. Well, the house is. I don't even know how to describe this house. Ranch houses.
long, real long.
Yeah.
Yeah, ranch style. Did Steven and his wife live in that at that time?
Yes.
Yes. They owned it or rented it?
They rented.
They rented. You know why they went to Colorado?
I think Stephen was having a hard time finding a job here. Something that he liked, but he ended up getting an apprenticeship in Colorado with plumbing. He's doing that now.
How did Steven know all this was going on?
I
Told him that he was missing.
Yeah.
What was his response to that?
Shock.
If I misspoke and said the wrong name, 1,000 apologies. I meant Plunder, Gray, and myself paid for this. My apologies if I said the wrong name. That's who paid for this. Plunder, myself, and Gray.
know Detective Morris asked it earlier, but I'm kind of curious. Why didn't you go search for her? I know you said that you didn't typically know where to look, but was there any other reasons why you didn't want to go search?
I wanted to be at home to make sure somebody would be home when she came home.
I caught it that time. I've said it with the Sebastian Rogers case, and I'll say it again. If one of my children or my bonus children was missing, I would make sure somebody was at my house in case they came back, but I would be out there searching. I don't know, or I would have somebody out there searching. I mean, somebody's going to be there, and it's going to be hard for me to sit at home. It would be hard to sit at home and not be out there looking, driving the streets, just trying to figure out something. But at the same time, I understand her wanting to stay home in case Madeline came home. If she indeed did not know that Madeline was deceased, it's hard at this point to know whether she did or not.
I didn't want the house to be alone. And in the last few days, I just feel like, I don't know, the media have been like bombarding us, and since like more news has come to light, it's just I've been feeling overwhelmed with the attention, and I just need to like preserve.
Oh, boo-hoo, you've been feeling overwhelmed. You've been feeling over. Your daughter's been laying out in a field in a stretch of bamboo. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind how your daughter felt and all the bullshit that was going on with her. You've been feeling overwhelmed. How do you think your daughter felt when you served her up on a platter to this predator?
I got you. I got you, big fella. Hang on just a second. I got you, big fella.
My mental health. I just have to stay home and.
It rain?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I tried to go out a little bit yesterday to like keep my mind off of things, just to buy like, I don't have a toothbrush or anything. But the moment we were out in public, I felt so exposed and like I shouldn't be out. I shouldn't be doing any of this. I grabbed what I needed quickly and we left. But I don't want to be out in public right now.
Did you feel like people were watching you?
Not people were watching me, but I just didn't like the night before that, the security guard's reaction to me telling her my name and who I was, and that I was coming into my apartment. That overloaded me so much, seeing someone it's just weird. It's just very heavy to handle other people's emotions when you're dealing with.
But never mind your daughter and her emotions, right?
Your own. Like you have to like comfort everyone. When all I want is to be comforted. It's really heavy when the entire family and everyone's sleeping down around me. It's playing low to preserve my mental health. I'm just worried. In the past, I've been hospitalized for my mental health issues. And I'm just afraid like that this is going to make me spiral again. So I'm just trying to stay safe.
Girl, I know that you would spiral. Your daughter is dead and had to been raped since the age of 8. I'm sorry. Who's not gonna spiral?
Trying to keep it together.
Yeah. I don't want to end up back in the hospital again. I don't.
And we do know that she did end up going back to the mental facility, the mental health facility, and staying there for a couple of days. But I even wonder, like, when I heard that, was it all for show? Like, did she do it to try to say, look, y'all in the media, all of your judgments, all of the things you've said about me has put me back in the hospital. You should feel bad. Like, I wondered if it was that kind of situation, or, oh my God, I didn't know what happened to my daughter. I'm so devastated by finding out what happened to my child. It drove me insane. I had to go to the hospital. So now stop looking at me like I'm guilty. I have to wonder if one of those could be the reason. That's a beautiful passion flower right there.
It's jealousy, JR. It's jealousy, and it's eating them up. It's eating them up.
I don't want to be unstable again.
Well, you got some of your family here, so
Yeah,
got some support.
for sure. Everyone's being
Exactly.
so
Still worried about
helpful.
herself.
I didn't realize it. I knew I had family and I knew we had community, but I didn't realize it was as big as this was until everything has happened, and I see how everyone is supporting and loving and helping us with, flyers or searching. Everyone keeps wanting to create like a search group so that we all go searching for her. But I don't want anyone to get in the way of you guys, because I know you guys keep searching different parks, different forests. I don't even know if those are the right places to look anymore. From what you guys have told me, and from apparently him driving all around town, for the longest time I thought she could be somewhere close to the school, like something happened on the way to school, but from what you guys are telling me, it's not. That's not the case.
Everyone's ultimate goal is to bring Maddie home.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah, I find it really hard to believe that she got up and made breakfast every day. I agree with whoever that was that just said that. I slowed the
Yeah,
chat
I
down
don't
to
think
60
either.
minutes, and it still looks like it's blowing by on my phone.
Well, you're gonna have a lot with something like this dropping.
60 seconds.
I also know you talked about it last night, but I didn't catch it for whatever reason. What was the medication specifically that you guys would use to help sleep
For who?
for you?
For me, it's my medication called it. The brand name is called Geodon.
Geodon?
Yeah, it's but the bottle says Ziprazidone. I can't say it right. Ziprazidone.
Ziprazidone?
Yeah, that's a bipolar medication. It kicks in at night with the food, and then probably takes about an hour, 30 minutes, an hour to work, and then I'm asleep.
Okay. Mark, can you write that down just so I don't forget it?
What was it again?
Can you tell me what the medication was?
The brand name is Geodon.
Geodon. Okay.
Geodon, and then it was. What was it started with a Z?
The generic name is what would say on my medication bottles is Ziprazidone.
Ziprazidone, yeah.
Ziprazidone.
And then what was the medication that Maddie would take?
Hydroxyzine.
Okay. And that was used for what?
Hydroxyzine, I didn't catch the names of the other medications, but I know hydroxyzine is for anxiety, and it's actually really safe to take, supposedly. I just explained to y'all how back along, several years ago, I used to be on a lot of prescription medications, and they gave me that while I was pregnant for anxiety. um Suprazidone is probably for sleep. The only one I know of in that arena would be trazodone, and I've taken that before too, and that shit ain't no joke. I took it for a week and never touched it again. Um, it's like I had sleep paralysis and it gave me nightmares. I was scared to death and could not move my body. And that's what concerns me about Madeline. If Stefan was on heavy sleep medication like that, is that how he did what he did to her? And did she think it was all just like a fever dream type thing? It's concerning.
What purpose? To help her sleep?
To help her sleep or for anxiety. But that's like, I think that's like a version of Benadryl that we would give her. At least that's how her doctor described it. It's like giving her Benadryl that night.
Okay.
Do you know if my family's behind you? Are they been following you?
I know they're coming up here. I don't know if they were following me specifically, but they have the address. I gave them the address. So you're gonna have someone drive your car back to Kissimmee.
I think I've only, I was gonna say I've driven twice since all of this has happened, and one of the times was scary because I was ugly crying and I couldn't stop. I was sobbing, and driving like that is not safe at all. I just don't want that to happen again.
I'm gonna back this up to try to
This
get
is
what.
why I was complaining earlier
Hold on, let's see if he gets it.
about them doing interviews in vehicles because they're driving, and I don't know if it's the air conditioner or whatever it is.
All right, let me see if I
What's
can
the
get it.
medication that Maddie would take?
This is the medication, and unfortunately, sorry
That
about
was
that.
used for what purpose? To help her sleep?
To help her sleep or for anxiety. But that's like, I think that's like a version of Benadryl that we would give her. At least that's how her doctor described it. It's like giving her Benadryl that night.
Okay.
Do you know if my family's behind you?
Do you know something behind you?
I know they're coming up here. I don't know if they were following me specifically, but they have the address. I gave them the address.
So, do you know if my family is following you? I'm assuming. Definitely can catch
You're
that.
gonna have someone drive your car back to Kissimmee.
He said you're asking if you can drive your car back to Kissimmee.
I think I've only, I was gonna say I've driven twice since all of this has happened, and one of the times.
I think I was gonna say I've only driven twice since all of this happened, and one of the times
was scary because I was ugly crying and I couldn't stop. I was sobbing and driving like that.
Was scary because I was ugly crying and I couldn't stop and I was driving like that.
That is not safe.
Not safe at all.
I don't want that to happen again.
Something.
This is why I was complaining earlier about them doing interviews in vehicles because they're driving. And I don't know if it's the air conditioner or whatever it is, but I've got it cranked up as loud as my program allows it, but she is hard. She's still hard to hear, and you'll see it comes in crystal clear whenever they come to a red light or whatever. I mean, damn it, man! Just do an interview in a building somewhere, please, just once.
I know they're coming up here. I don't know if they were following me specifically, but they have the address. I gave them the address.
So again, he said, I know they're coming up here. I don't know if they're following me specifically, but they have the address. I gave them the address. I can't hear what Jen's saying.
So you're going to have someone drive your car back to.
So you're asking to drive your car back to Kissimmee? Yeah.
I think I've only, I was going to say I've driven twice since all this has happened.
I think I've only driven twice since all of this happened.
One of the times was scary because I was ugly.
One of the times was scary because I was ugly crying.
And I couldn't stop. I was sobbing and driving.
And I couldn't stop. I was sobbing and driving. Not safe at all. I just don't want that to happen again. He said, okay.
Stefan reached out to you. Stefan?
No.
Has something reached out to you, and then she says Stefan as in a question, and he says Stefan.
I don't know. I haven't seen him
No.
or talked to him since.
I haven't seen him or talked to him since.
You guys took us downtown and separated us. I haven't heard anything.
You guys sent us to this something and separated us. I'm trained. After having so many kids and raising so many, you learn how to understand the low talk and mumbling. I'm telling you. Driving over a bridge.
You think they'll reach out to you?
I don't think so. It'd be really fucking.
They asked, did somebody reach out to you? She said, I don't think so. It'd be really fucking
stupid if he did.
Stupid if he did.
He knows your number, though, probably by heart.
Actually, I'm not sure.
He knows your number, though, probably by heart. And she responds, I'm really not sure. I don't know. So they're talking about Stefan. Maybe the first time they were talking about Stefan's dad.
If he were to call, what would it say? Orange County Jail? Because I'm not going to pick that up.
If he were to call, what would it say? Orange County Jail, because I'm not going to pick that up. There's 30 minutes left of this interview, so I'm going to finish this. We'll check for a Kentucky gunman Joseph A. Couch update, and that's going to be it for me.
It would either say Orange County or Osceola County Correction, something to that effect.
Yeah.
You wouldn't answer it?
No.
It would either say Orange County or Osceola County, or something to that effect. And he said, you're not going to answer. And she said, no.
pretty much not picking up phone calls from my phone anyway because it's either reporters or I've had a lot of scam calls, people screaming in the background going, help me, and hanging up.
What the fuck? She said, I'm pretty much not answering my phone anyway. It's usually either reporters or scam calls, and I think we can hear her now, so I'm going to stop repeating what she says.
But it's not. That's not Maddie's voice.
These people are bringing up great points. They said I would ask him where the hell my kid was, and she's only concerned about herself, and I can't help but to agree.
No, she did not make a 911 call.
She did not make the 911 call. I don't know if I played that audio or not, but it was her mother and I think another family member. Yeah, they did. It seems like they dosed her. They're not a bot.
I did remember something from our conversation last night, if I could mention it to you guys.
No,
I did remember something from our conversation last night, if I can mention it to you guys, just in case, because it was kind of low.
she's getting ready to talk about one of his kinks. So, just so you're warned.
You guys
All right, so we're about to hear something about their Smex life.
asked me about kinks,
What?
like sexual kinks,
Yep.
and something occurred to me last night.
Okay.
He's into like I think animal kink. That's something he's asked me a few times, and that's not my thing. I've refused. But I remember he told me he was always into butts, so butt stuff.
But you guys never had any sex.
So she's talking about he always asked her to do the butt things, the anal things, and maybe if she didn't know, did she realize that maybe that's the reason Madeline was constipated all the time? I hate to be that graphic about it, but I don't think the child would have normally been constipated otherwise.
Did he ever tell you he had anal sex with anybody else?
Not that I can recall.
See how much.
Also, you asked me in the interview room about his triggers. I think triggers was like the.
Now, this part's kind of interesting. We find out that he has a temper. But you see how much better the audio gets when they come to a red sign, a stop sign, or a red light. I mean, it's really good.
Wrong word to use because I couldn't think of triggers, but he does have a temper.
Okay.
He's very irritable and very negative about the world and things. Driving would piss him off. Like, depending on how people were driving around him, he'd get really irritable with that. Me nagging him would make him really irritable. Like, if I asked him to clean the house or help me with something. But, would he lash out and explode with me? No. But I believe he's done that with his parents.
Has he ever done it with Maddie?
Lashed out in front of us like that?
Or to her?
To her? No, I don't think so, no.
Has he ever got irritated or angry with her?
would say yes, but like typical parenting stuff, like if she didn't clean her room when she was supposed to, like, you know, coming down on her for something like that. Was it like anger out of the blue or anger, like random anger? No. It was always like Maddie wasn't doing what she was supposed to be doing, kind of thing. So we come down on her.
And when you say come down on her, obviously, do you mean discipline?
Yell at
Yell.
her. Yeah, we would never hit her. We were never physical with her.
Okay.
We would just be like, you're supposed to be doing this, you're not doing this, what's going on? Are you spacing out? Are you being lazy? Get on it.
Yeah, he wasn't a parent. He wasn't a parent. He was a pedo, but he wasn't a parent. Nonchalant. See how nice when it slows down, it just gets, I mean, crystal clear. No, they didn't, Kathy. They're just cruising now, if you're wondering. But, nobody's fine. Yeah, I can't wait to find out her toxicology report.
What electronics were you referring to when you first asked this
Oh,
about the ones?
my Apple laptop.
Apple one?
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's an Apple laptop, but what I really wanted was there was a black old laptop in my closet that has all of Maddie's baby pictures from when she was born up until she was until I got
No,
the
you
Apple.
didn't already
So
hear
I want to
this.
say like
Totally
10 years worth of pictures uploaded into it, and I just wanted to make sure I got those back, just so I had something of Maddie's, because I don't have many pictures printed out. Everything.
Let me rewind that a little bit because somebody said we've already heard this. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
I don't remember hearing this.
What electronics were you referring to when you first asked this
Oh,
about the ones?
my Apple laptop.
Apple one?
Yeah. Oh, actually, there's an Apple laptop, but what I really wanted was there was a black old laptop in my closet that has all of Maddie's baby pictures from when she was born up until she was until I got the Apple. So I want to say like 10 years worth of pictures uploaded into it, and I just wanted to make sure I got those back, just so I had something of Maddie's, because I don't have many pictures printed out. Everything's in digital form. I will tell you guys though, with Stephen Young and Stefan, I don't think they've had much contact since they moved to Colorado. They weren't super great friends.
I wonder if that's because the other one picked up that Stephen wasn't quite right and there's some shit going on.
You said they're not super great friends?
No.
Just a little bit ago, you said they
played games and
hung
stuff,
out
but
together. And
yeah, a few years ago. But since they moved to Colorado, like,
This cop is like not having any of her bullshit. I love it.
I don't think they've really talked at all. Hell, I barely spoke to Stephen, honestly. If anything, if I were to contact any one of them directly, I was talking to Stephen's wife or Ashlyn.
so then why would you guys, start contacting Steven about all of this? And then expect, like, for a lawyer, you said something about a lawyer.
Yeah. So when everything happened, Stephen Young and I got in contact, and he was letting me know he could be any support, any help. If I needed food, if I needed anything, he would come out and help me. We were in the beginning of all of this. We were all under the impression that I had given Stefan the benefit of the doubt, right? I had assumed he dropped her off, that she went missing, and that he had nothing to do with it. I believed him. He's a master liar and a master manipulator. Me and Stefan's dad have discussed this already. Like, we had a conversation, like, what does he lie to you about? What does he lie to me about in the past about things? And it's stupid stuff, but he's a liar. So I'm realizing he's been lying to me about shit this whole time, and I just haven't had the slightest idea. But before any of this, I assumed he was innocent. I assumed you guys were pursuing him and you guys had the wrong guy. Because I'm just like, of course, they're going to go for the last guy who saw her. And I wanted to think the best of him and think, oh, he's innocent, but you guys are just pursuing the wrong person. So Stephen Young was helping me because he has like family that's got contact with lawyers or something like that. So he was giving me lawyers for Stefan. But then once at this point I do.
Why do you say that?
Because when you guys showed me that picture of her slumped over, she could be asleep or drugged, but if he was driving around and she just disappeared, like, that to me feels like he dumped her body somewhere.
Where?
I don't know. I sent you the name of the store.
The high pitched, like, again, I feel like she's trying to show concern, but really can't.
Or is that I remember him saying that he was gonna visit. But I don't know if he ever made it to them. I don't know. Yeah, I'm assuming he did. He fucking lied about that trip too. I don't think he had his phone with him during that time either. I don't think. It's just everything is too coincidental and way so suspicious. Like,
Where do you think he took her?
I have no idea. I wish you guys could, like.
You don't have one idea in your brain that thinks.
Of where she could be. No, I would tell you. I would so fucking tell you. I want my child back, but I have no idea where he could have taken her. I think I asked you guys, like, for a map, like, if you guys could show me where around town he drove to see if I could recognize anything familiar, any place familiar, but I think you guys said he drove around too much, so I don't know.
I mean, we've told you some areas.
I think you guys mentioned St. Cloud and like 192, but I I've never been with him, I don't think, to St. Cloud. We've never done anything in St. Cloud together. I didn't even think he would drive that down there. Because everything, for the most part, that he did was in Orlando by the mall or on 182 somewhere.
Which mall?
I think the Florida mall.
Florida mall?
You're welcome, gang. You're very welcome. Thank you all for being here.
But when this, I won't lie, when this all started, I really thought you guys had the wrong guy. You guys were focusing on the wrong thing, but I guess what they say is true. It's usually the last person that sees her. Or sees whoever the victim is.
Lines like a road. Justice for Maddie. It's coming. It's coming.
I hope we do get justice for this baby.
Yeah, maybe somebody's quicker than me with more money and better technology can do something with the audio, but I'm working with what I got. I don't know how to make little stuff out of it. I know it's trust me.
Go to the front.
Can you guys tell me, like, I read a few comments last night about you guys possibly searching around Lakefront Park or in Kissimmee. Where are you guys searching in Kissimmee other than St. Cloud and
We're searching everywhere.
everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you see those comments?
I think I saw something on like a Facebook moms group. Kissimmee moms. Like we hear helicopters by Kissimmee Lakefront. Do you think they're looking for Madeline Soto? So I was just wondering, like, is that for her?
They're everywhere. They're non-stop searching for her.
your paper shuffler, man. I mean,
All right, we're at the sheriff's office.
just sit still for crying out loud.
No doubt.
Turn the air conditioner on, roll the windows up, go into a real interview room. You're killing me.
Killing me, Smalls.
So they, as you heard them, they arrived and it cut off there. So that's the end of the second interview that was just released to me that myself, Plunder, and Gray Hughes paid for. What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
I think that Jenn Soto's full of
I
shit,
know
and it's so concerning to me. That was it. It's over. So I'm going to check for the Kentucky gunman update. I do believe they're still looking for him. Let me go ahead and pull this up and share it with you guys so you can see. But everything I'm seeing is from a couple of days ago. Let me check news. Yeah, 1 day ago. As of 1 day ago, it was day 7. So we're in day 8 now, and I haven't seen anything. So I'll read. Well, this one right here says manhunt for Kentucky highway shooting suspect enters day 7. I did see where his cousin speaks. We'll read that one and see what the cousin had to say. Oh, let me. Okay. My heart sank. Cousin of Joseph Couch speaks out amid ongoing manhunt. So let's see what he had to say. Or she. I don't know. So we know it's in day 8 now. Evidently he went out there prepared.
As we've reached day 6 of the manhunt, authorities are still combing through a large area to try to find Couch.
WKYT Samantha Valentino is live for us in Laurel County, where she joins us now. And Samantha, you talked to one of Couch's relatives today about the ongoing search and about what she felt when she heard about that shooting. Samantha, what can you tell us?
Bill and Amber, that's exactly right. As you all mentioned, we are now nearing the end of day 6 of this manhunt for mass shooting suspect Joseph Couch. We heard from Kentucky State Police and Governor Andy Beshear this morning. They said this search is in fact ongoing and there are no plans of stopping until Couch is found. And tonight, for the first time, we're also hearing from a member of Couch's own family. Tonight, we're talking to his cousin, Adriana Couch. What goes through your mind when you see that name, Joseph Couch, opened fire on I-75?
Honestly, my heart sunk. It was embarrassing.
Adriana Couch says she first learned of Saturday's mass shooting when she was flooded with messages from friends and family.
He's like, turn on the news, it's everywhere. And I turned it on and it was like a manhunt looking for him.
Adriana says her heart immediately broke for the victims, their families, and anyone else affected by her cousin's alleged actions. Police say he opened fire along I-75 in Laurel County, injuring 5 people. Since then, Adriana says her family's lives have been flipped upside down.
We've had multiple police come to grandma's house, mom's house. They've been everywhere looking for this man.
Adriana says she's received death threats from strangers online. She says she wants people to understand her family does not condone what her cousin is accused of doing.
There's nothing in this world that he could do that could have led up to it to excuse the behavior that what he did. There's nothing.
If her cousin is watching, Adriana says she has a message for him.
I would ask you to please turn yourself in because you are very wrong for the actions that you've caused, and it's been a very embarrassment to the family that you've acted like this. And my heart goes out to everybody involved in this, and it honestly it hurts.
And we're hearing that same message from law enforcement. They too would like to see Joseph Couch give up and turn himself in. However, they of course will not stop searching until he is found and police are able to finally serve that arrest warrant we know they have ready and waiting for him. Live in Laurel County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
Well, that's that. We know that we entered day 8 on the search for the Kentucky manhunt. So I'm going to fix my thumbnail. We'll come back tomorrow and go through the Chris Stearns and I don't know what its mother's name is, but their interview or interrogation with police. I do want to thank everybody for being here and anybody watching this on the replay. It's been 3.5 hours, a little over actually. I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you for those who stopped by and spoke to me for a second. Please, again, go subscribe to the Docket. Plunder and Gray Hughes Investigates, they all went in together to get that information and put it out here for us so that I was able to review it with you guys. So make sure you go follow them and give them a like. I'll try to link all of them in the description box below. If I forget, then I'll at least have the Docket linked. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope it's the best day you've ever had in your whole entire life. And I will be back in the morning, probably between 8 and 9 a.m. Thank you again. And I hope to see you here. Those watching a replay, stop by sometime if you can. Thank you. I hope you have a beautiful day. Sorry. Bye.